All right, yo, 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 it's your boy Yoshikidneo, and we're back in the world of Boridil, the adventures in Boridil. And today, I believe, is going to be more of a role play session. I don't have much in terms of combat. The last session was pretty much role play as well, but the session before that, there's a character death. So, the party's they still gotta lick their wounds. They haven't rested at all yet. But they're in the city of Green Drift, and I'm pretty sure they're going to try to rest. But first, they have to deal with Baba Lasaka. How exciting! Anyway, let's get into it.
A jerk with the other campaigns where they're like, like they fill in like a spell like right as they go into an encounter. They're like, oh yeah, I was gonna add this one anyways. It like solves the whole thing.
I have seen that happen before. Or
Seen what
one
happened
time
before.
when I first picked when I was first playing, I hadn't picked a language yet, and everything was like demons, and so I said I speak Abyssal, and the DM goes, "Are- "When?" I was like, "Well, I hadn't picked a language yet, so I do now."
Man, Jeff did that. Oh, he did a piece of shit move one time. He had picked his background and stuff, but he never picked all his languages, and they were dealing with goblins that spoke only goblin. And after the session was over, he was like, "Hey, so I think I still have a language to pick, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, go ahead and pick it and just annotate it on your sheet." And the next time when we started the session, I was like, "The goblins start speaking, but none of you understand." He's like, "Actually, I do." I was like, "You motherfucker."
Hmm.
I only say
Okay.
it because I'm like adding a spell into my thing, so it does not affect anything though in any way.
No, you'll be fine. Oh, I'm glad you're back, just in time for me to give the rundown of what happened last time, Gerald. Easy, be right. All right, so the last time we left our heroes, you guys had helped Lasarth, the green dragon that lived in this forest to the west of the city of Guilds at a particular location known as Willowwood Falls. Lasarth had essentially spread the rumors of if you travel to this location and donate a reasonable sum of gold, your wildest dreams and wishes will come true. This tale has spread throughout, a lot of the rural areas of the land. Most of the city folk don't really believe in wishes and shit like that. Uh, so, a reasonable amount of people have come and gone from this location, making their wishes, hoping that they come true. And what you guys noticed was essentially they make their wish, and depending on how much gold you gave, Lasarth will reveal herself. And from what you guys have experienced, she will give you a job, which allows you to essentially earn her respect. The job that she gave you guys was to go and kill some hill giants that had stolen her quote unquote egg, and she wanted it back. She also wanted a head of the hill giant as proof that you guys did the deed. And with that, you had given her a reasonable sum as sort of a purchase price for the egg that you would inevitably get in return. You guys were able to find the hill giants very quickly, as their trail is super easy to follow thanks to the smell. And as you guys started to fight them, you were whooping their ass. It was a very one-sided fight until you killed two of them and Baba Lysaga appeared. And using their blood, she was able to create a blood giant to attack you guys. It was at this point that our good friend Vikavor, who unfortunately is no more, decided to bring Baba Lysaga into the fray with a well-placed fireball. She was not very happy with it. So she took Vikavor out, and Quinn was able to get him somewhat out of harm's way for a little while. But as things started to get a little more dire, he brought him back. Vikavor was healed and stood up and cast yet another fireball after the first one didn't even work on Babala Saga, and she took this as a, all right, well, you just signed your own death warrant, and she took him out in a blaze of glory, as well as multiple bullets penetrating from all over his body as he fell to his knees and jerked from all directions before he fell dead. She then asked if you guys wanted to continue going, which all of you said no, and she promptly left afterwards. You guys collected the things that you needed from this location, said a few words, and Vikavor's demise, or at Vikamor's demise, and you headed back to Lasarth to turn in the giant's head and to get your egg. In doing so, you were granted an egg, but it was given to you by an ancient green dragon known as Omra. This dragon was sleeping at the bottom of the lake underneath a pile of gold, and he was he wasn't intimidated in the least, of course. He actually gave Angelica a chance to draw blood, but because she failed, he took a bite out of her and knocked her ass out. Everyone else was pretty calm. No one wanted to tussle with two giant dragons, or really large dragons, especially in their territory, and especially after the fight that had just went down. But during all of this, you guys met a new comrade, a child named Munguzu, who, what you've learned so far is he has this vampiric tendency. He requires the blood of a humanoid every now and then in order to sustain himself, in order to keep himself going from, a normal-ish child to a bloodthirsty child. So yeah, now you've got a new member of the group. You guys bid farewell to the dragons. They did say that if you wanted any more work, that they have plenty of things that you guys could do for them. They also know a place where you could possibly get the blood of a dragon that would be very helpful to them, mainly for Angelica's sake. You guys left and went back to the city of Greendrift, in which you met this random-ass Kinku merchant who claimed that his name was Merchant and talked in this very harsh, gurgly, yes, voice. He wasn't very happy with the prices that Mong was giving him for the 2 potions that he had revealed that were for sale. So he ended up leaving you guys to your own muses, and as you were approaching the inn, your enemy, Babala Saga, started to speak to you again, and she was floating above the inn. And that is where we will begin our session, is with you guys seeing Babala Saga as she is floating above the inn. That's not what I wanted. That is also not what I want. This will work. Actually, no, it won't. We'll just keep this. Well, it would seem that you've already made a new companion. That was rather quick of you all. Did you not like Vikavor? Did I do you a favor, perhaps?
I continue chewing the jerky that I had in my mouth.
I'm just gonna look up and be like, who's this lady?
Also, in the state that I'm in, I can't say anything.
What state is that? Did you transform?
Paralyzed.
No, paralyzed. You ended the session because I paid her no mind in
Oh
football
yeah,
company.
that's right. You were trying to. Yeah, I forgot about that part. So let me back up.
I mean, it didn't happen though.
No, yeah, it did. As Quinn starts to buzz off, she casts a spell on Quinn, and he is currently paralyzed. Go ahead and give me 3 wisdom saving throws real quick. That way I can see when/if it even gets broke. As she casts the spell and Quinn's standing there, she kind of shakes her head. You all do not understand what it is you're dealing with, Very well, I will explain it to you, as it appears that your new friends, Snoopy, don't really. It seems as if you have forgotten to tell them some tiny details about your comrades. And after 12 seconds, Quinn, you end up shaking the spell off. Your pal Snoopy there has brought great sorrow to my son. And because of that, because of what he and his old party members have done, I have sworn to make their lives miserable. Unfortunately, though, it seems that they have all perished way too quickly for me to enact my plan. So I've come to tell you, Snoopy, that your pal Vikavor, Saberwolf, Bowron, and even Donovan, I have possession of all of them. And for every day that passes, their souls start to shred a little more with the torments that I've put through. I not intend for all of you to die so quickly, and I will not allow you to go so quickly either. He starts chanting.
So, as Baba's talking, you can tell that I'm like too scared to really say anything, and like she started naming off everybody and like said Donovan, Bowron, Vikavor, and like when Vikavor's name came, like kind of brushed it aside, and then you said Saberwolf, and my tail went between my legs and ears back, and got really sad. And she
As
started
she
chanting.
starts chanting, as she's chanting, she chants for about 10 seconds total. And then you see this sort of like energy at her fingertips, and she points at you. Go ahead and give me a wisdom saving throw.
Everybody.
No, just Snoopy.
Okay.
And as
There
she
we
points
go.
at you, you see the magical essence eject from her finger and sort of hit you right in the chest, and you kind of feel this weird sensation. Perfect. You can still die. It's just now if you do die, your soul will be mine. So I would recommend that perhaps maybe you just do what you can to stay alive. And since the rest of your comrades had fallen so easily into my clutches, I want to make it known. The rest of you, you will be my little plaything so that I can teach Snoopy here a little lesson in dealing with my children. And to let you know that I'm serious, Quinn, how much do you care for your brother? Kai, is it? He wields a katana? Calls it the Dark Blade, I believe. Have I missed anything?
Quinn's face gets really serious. You leave him out of this.
Oh, no. I think that he's very much a part of all of this. And if you want him to stay out of it, then you will have to put yourself in his place. I have plans for all of you.
Well,
But
hang on a second here. I'm, you seem nice, lady, but I don't even know these people that well. I'm kind of just, I just walked into town with them. Why do I have to be punished with them?
Here, here, as I raise my hand.
Quinn looks back at both of them, disgusted. Like,
I have
Don't.
seen how you have all interacted, and it looks like a budding, beautiful friendship between all of you. That is enough for me to think that even a shred of Snoopy's morality lies within protecting you. He may not know you very well yet, but I'm sure eventually he would want to protect you. And now he has something to protect you from. Something that if he fails, he will have to live with forever, knowing that he was not a good boy. He let people die for no reason except for his own sins. Is that something you can live with, Snoopy? Because if it is, I could kill them now.
When, like, I didn't want to interrupt you, but the second you said that, bad boy, I did like a, no?
That is why, young boy, if I could even call you that,
You may.
that is why. Now, it seems that I have some new faces to learn about. I'll be in touch. But as for you, Quinn, your brother, how should I say it, is in peril right now. Do you remember your friend Stenmeyer? The one you met at the City of Guilds, perhaps? Don't tell me you've forgotten.
I remember him, but Quinn's not gonna respond.
It
He's just
seems
gonna
that
keep looking at her.
his hunger grows for your brother. And if I had to place a bet, your brother should be back to the City of Guilds within the next week or two. I would keep that one close. Otherwise, who knows? It might be too late. Now, I shall be off. You all have a wonderful night. Oh, and final thing. It seems that the patrons of this dear tavern don't understand magic as well as I do. As a mercy, since you've lost so much, I would have them evacuate very quickly. And with that, she vanishes out of sight.
So under
And before as she's cackling, all of a sudden, Mong, you hear a voice in your head. Hey, I think you can take her.
I'm just gonna like slap myself on the cheek and be like, oh, definitely not.
As she disappeared, I spit out the jerky that I was chewing on, and just stand in front of Quinn. What kind of shit are you two into? Like, seriously, what the hell is this?
So right now we don't have time to talk. If what she says is true, we need to get these people out of here.
Fine.
Quinn's
I
right,
walk into
just
I
know
storm
that,
into the tavern.
we got
What were
put
you
in
saying, Joe?
situations. Oh, I was just gonna
Oh, I
explain
see.
a little more. It's like, Quinn's right. Just know that we got put in situations beyond our control, and all we did was just fight to survive, pissing off the wrong people a lot. So, welcome to the group. I'm the only one left alive from the start, so
Well, I don't even know if I want to be with you guys, to be honest. I mean,
okay, bye.
I'm a little low on money, and I need to get some money here. But I did see that dragon back there. He gave you guys an egg, and I know a couple guys. I know a couple guys that may want to buy that. You know, why don't you let me take it to them and see if they want to buy it?
That's okay.
No.
Are you are you sure? What are you gonna do with a dragon egg? He's gonna hold on to it?
Quinn has a very serious face. Oh, I'll let you go, Joe. My bad.
Oh, I was just saying I'm holding it for a friend.
You're holding it for a friend, huh? Well, if it ever
Technically,
gets a little...
Tamsin is holding it right now.
Yep.
Oh. We're okay, time out. The only people that know why we're getting this dragon egg is me and Quinn, right?
That is
Everybody else-
correct. I don't believe. Actually, Angelica might have
Tam
heard,
to me.
and I think Tamsin knows too.
I think Tamsin. Oh, hold on. You said
And
Tamsin told you.
Yeah, because Angelica,
Yeah, me.
Oh,
yeah, Angelica was asking what you guys were even doing in the woods, and Tamsin was like, "They're trying to find a dragon egg, and I'm trying to get me a scale."
yeah.
And
Okay.
she went further into it when I was on the broom with her.
Yeah,
And I definitely don't know what you guys are doing with it, so
that is
Okay.
correct.
I just know you have it.
So Quinn is gonna say and look at both Mong and Angelica and just let them and kind of just like reassure them. Like I mean, if you guys want to like bail out now, we totally understand that. I mean, we could definitely use the help, but this is only gonna go downhill from here. So if you guys are not ready,
Well, at this point, I'm in the thicket with you guys now. She pretty much included me into the mix, so I have no choice but to stay around.
And we're not just getting into trouble, we're doing things that matter in this world. Fighting evil that is far spread.
If you're fighting evil, I like stuff like that, but my wallet's a little light lately, so if we can make some money along the way, then I'd be in.
As you guys are talking, Snoopy, you start to sniff the air, and you can smell some sort of burning coming from inside the tavern.
We're in the tavern.
You guys are outside the tavern.
Are we in that lizard folk village?
No, you guys are in Green Drift, the town that
that
you guys
what
came in with those carpenters. Is
Oh,
that with
okay.
what?
Never mind. Okay. I'm gonna go. I'll say excuse me for a minute, and I'll go investigate what's burning.
All right.
Okay.
You hear my dog?
Yeah. So Snoopy goes up to the tavern. His mage hand grabs the doorknob and opens it. And as it does, you can see that there's this really bright light coming from the center towards the roof, and everyone's just kind of looking at it like there's no one's talking, no one's drinking, no one's hooting and hollering in the tavern. They're all just staring at it. Snoopy and anyone, actually, all of you can make an Arcana check, as it is visible from the moment Snoopy opens the door.
Boom.
Might be
Roll
what
for
Baba was
Tamsin.
warning us about. It's kind of
Surprise.
funny that we have to call this terrifying person Baba.
Interesting.
so
For some
weird.
reason. Okay.
Snoopy, you should just go all Lassie and be like, they're like, is Timmy in the well? Like, no, the building's on fire.
That's weird. I'll have to figure out why her macro is not working. Anyway, Mong, as he opens up the door and you guys are all looking at this thing like, what the hell? The thing you notice is that, let me go with Angelica and Snoopy. You can tell, as well as Mong, that the patrons are all currently charmed to kind of just stand there and look at this glowy thing. But Mong, as you look at the glowing thing, you can tell that that is a delayed fireball spell that is currently festering and looks like it's on the verge of explosion.
How
Okay.
How
close
many
is this
how many
thing?
people are in there?
About 30.
Okay.
How close
Alright.
is this?
It's a pretty small tavern. It's not that big.
Oh, we're in the.
Inside of the tavern.
Oh, I guess Ethan's the only one that knows what it is.
Do I have
Uh,
enough time to
But would
grab a couple
would
of people?
Snoopy smart enough to realize that Baba just said something and this is probably dangerous?
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Okay, I'm gonna run up as quick as I can.
I'm gonna scream, "Everybody run!" and then blink and run and get out of the building as fast as I can.
Yeah, I was gonna run in and then I'm not super sure on the use of this, but my counter charm. Hang on. Oh, okay, I have to pull out my thing real quick. Okay, so wait, so counter charm would that work on like random people like that? Or no?
Let us see.
It says basically just gives them saving throws against being frightened or charmed.
Yeah. So you can
Okay.
use that. Let's see. You must be able to hear. Performance ends early. Okay, so you start using that then. So your performance, if I remember correctly, is you like to tell stories, right?
Yeah, we can go with that. Yeah. So
Well,
I
do
have
you
to
have
like,
an instrument that you would play, or like what's your? Because it's essentially you're doing a performance, and it's something that you
yeah.
continue doing as a character in order to boost the saving throw of those around you.
Yeah, can I just run in there and start whistling?
Yeah,
Would that
sure.
work as an
Go
instrument?
ahead and roll me. Go ahead and roll me a performance check
Okay.
at advantage. And as Snoopy says, "Everybody run!" and then blinks away, nobody pays attention to Snoopy, and they just keep looking at the delayed fireball. But as Mongo, he does a wolf whistle, which you can see everybody kind of like flinch a little bit to that, and then he starts to whistle. And every couple seconds, people start to like blink and like shake their head and go, what what happened? What the hell is that thing up there? What? Who? They're as they're coming out of this charm, they're utterly confused.
I'm gonna like, am I still whistling or am I done by now?
You continue whistling because not everybody has made their saves yet.
I'm just gonna start pointing at the door, like waving my arms, like to tell people to get out, like waving my arms, like shaking them in the air and stuff.
I walk up and scream out, "Listen, everybody get out of here!" And beat
Okay.
on the entrance door, the doorway.
And as Mong continues to do his whistle, more and more people are coming out from the charmed effect. And every time more people come out, Angelica's like, "Hurry, get out, go, go, go!" And they're all like, "Oh shit, okay, okay." So it gets to the last little bit, and you see this orb of fire starting to swell up, almost as big as like a beach ball, except for beach balls don't exist in this world, obviously, not yet. And as the last couple people come out, Mong stops whistling and runs out. And as you guys are running as far away as you can hear sort of like the implosion and then the explosion come afterwards as it engulfs the entire inn. And there's debris and ash that fly all over the town. Everybody kind of like takes cover underneath some of the building materials that are a decent ways away. None of you end up taking any damage. You're well enough out of the way of the explosion. And thanks to your quick thinking, you were able to get everybody out alive, especially with that performance roll.
Nice.
So the inn explodes, and everybody's kind of like shocked, and they shake their head, and they're all dizzy. And a dwarven fellow comes up to you guys as he's scratching his head. Mind explaining yourselves? What gives? Why did you blow up our inn?
We didn't blow up your inn. It seems to me you guys were charmed in there when there was an explosion that was pre-planned by a stronger being, a hag.
Yeah. To be honest with you, we're the only reason that all these people are alive.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check, both of yous.
I turn to Snoopy and be like, and I tell him, this is like that incident with Shroud again. We're gonna have to leave.
I have a good feeling about my rolls tonight, guys. Sorry. Go ahead.
I say, at least nobody died this time. As the other fireball goes off.
There's another fireball?
Oh, I was just saying that something. As I say,
Oh.
at least nobody died this time. Great.
And then
Okay,
suddenly another fireball. Mong casts fireball. I don't think he actually has it, but not yet.
Not right
anyway.
now. Yeah, not yet.
So the dwarf shakes his head and goes, that makes sense. Yeah, I don't see why you would go through the trouble of saving us and then blow up the inn. That doesn't make... If you wanted us dead, obviously I think you got the power to do it. Especially because you're all the folks, and he points towards Snoopy, Quinn, and Tamsin. You're the ones that were heading into the waterfall, weren't you? And you made it back? He says with a audible question mark at the end of his statement.
Sure did.
Were we not supposed to?
Hey.
He scratches the back of his head and goes, well, it's really hard for common folk to appease a green dragon, and usually they don't fit the bill, and we never see him again after leading them that way.
I look towards Quinn and go, I don't think this is like last time, but we should still go.
And I'm gonna look over at the dwarf real quick, and I'm like, is there any reward for saving this many people's lives?
I mean, we can give you all we can. Obviously, we're not dead because of you all. And he turns around and he's like, people of Greendrift, even though our tavern has been destroyed, these fine folk, they took the kindness out of their heart to make sure that we all survived, to rebuild. A lot of people kind of shake their head and go, one lady, well, this is the third time we've had to rebuild the inn. I think it's time that we move back to the City of Guilds. Obviously, we can't sustain here. Fair people, this is just but another roadblock in the way. We should be able to rebuild, and we'll be able to rebuild stronger, especially because of the services that these fine adventurers have given us. They will protect us while we rebuild. And he turns around, right? You wanted a job, right?
I tell Angelica and Mong, yeah, we gotta go.
And then I'm gonna sorry, real quick. Let me look at one thing. I'm gonna use my message to message Quinn back. I was like, do we even want to reply back to this guy, or you want to just walk away? And that's in his mind, of course. Like I'm whispering it through.
Okay.
Uh,
As you start sending the message, Quinn says his little piece, and the dwarf goes, "You're just gonna leave us like this? After everything that you've just seen, that we're powerless."
I'll speak up and I'll say, our job is to stop the person that did it in the first place.
And as Snoopy said that, I'll say to the guy, our position for you is to get these people to safety. It may not be as safe as you think around here.
Yeah, and I'm gonna speak up to him like, you know what we can do for you guys is that hag could be back here anytime to kill you guys again. Why don't we'll go out and hunt her?
Well, I mean, what your friend, the dog who talks, said, that's exactly what you're going to do, so... Alright. He turns back around. Fair people of Green Drift, your voice has been heard. If those of you that wish to go, these travelers have agreed to taking us back to the City of Guilds as hired escorts. Those of you that wish to leave, have your things packed and ready to go, and however much gold you can offer these fine fellows, that would be much appreciated. You can bring the gold to me, and I'll make sure that they get it at the end of our journey. He turns around.
Up.
Please just give us about 10 minutes to gather our things before we follow you back.
I back up towards Quinn and whisper.
You are cutting out pretty bad.
You're breaking up. Yeah.
I think it might have been. Oh.
You hear me now?
This one too.
Yeah.
Yep.
I back up towards Quinn and say and whisper to him. Yeah, this is a mess, man. I don't know.
I mean,
I'm
we
gonna-
are headed back to the City of Guilds anyways, right?
Right.
No, we're headed back, but we definitely don't have to take their money.
Well, hang on. I'm really light on money right now. I mean, unless you guys knew some other way I could make some money real quick.
I'll spot you for right now.
Okay.
In all honesty, I'm just tired. I'm ready to get some sleep. Let's hurry up and get back.
How low on money are you? Like, you have 2 gold, or you need 2,000 gold?
Are you asking my? Was this Snoopy or is this Joe?
This is Snoopy asking a little vampire friend.
Well, I mean, I made that huge donation to the dragon back there at the waterfall, and ever since then, he didn't give it back to me. So,
That huge donation, by the way, Snoopy, I don't think you know the value of it. You were not over there, so you have no idea what exactly he's talking about.
I wasn't there.
Oh, you weren't there? Well, gold did fall from my hands right into that water, and that dragon there did not give it back. You know what? I almost think we should go back there, because that guy seems like a scam.
You should go steal the gold out of the pond. I'm sure he has enough.
True, we could do that. And I last summer I was swimming around a lot. I'm a pretty good swimmer.
Yeah, You have fun with that. I'm going to City of Guilds.
Quinn, yeah, we gotta go. Like, there's no more backtracking. We have to get to the city. And then Quinn goes to go sit down next to a tree and kind of sits to do a short rest for 10 minutes.
Okay.
I'll,
Tamsin will join you.
I'll go sit next to Quinn.
Yeah.
State
So
how
you-
many hit dice you're going to use, if you're using any at all, and then roll them. Tamsin will use 2. Wow.
Nice. We should go fight the dragon today. I have a good feeling about it.
Get spell slots back on short rest.
Nope. Not
Okay.
unless you have an ability that does so, and I don't think the
I
Shepherd
don't.
Druid has that.
Did you hear me?
What are we doing?
I gotta tell you how many first, or just roll them.
Yeah, tell me how many hit dice and then roll them. So, like Joe did, type that and then roll them.
I'm feeling lucky too. Let's be on the safe side.
Oh, sweet. That was perfect.
Who said they would spot me some gold?
I think Quinn did.
When did so what I'm gonna do, I don't remember how much he had on him, but hold on, actually, did we use Vicor's gold to pour down that thing?
Here, I got this. And I pull out a human skin coin pouch that has 338 copper pieces in it, and I toss it towards him.
Okay.
You tossed it to me?
And
And it's made out of human skin. Seems like something you would like.
I don't believe anyone took the or I don't remember who. I'm pretty sure it was Quinn that took the gold off of Vicovor. But it should have been 245 gold, 349 silver, and 341 copper pieces.
Okay, I'm gonna throw him Vicor's bag.
Okay.
And I'm about to roll my die.
Nice, you threw it
And
to me.
for
I'm like, well, this here scrotum only has some copper in it, but I'll keep it anyways. But thank you for the gesture, and then
And
the other bag.
for your gold there, because my intentions were that you were probably going to get Vicovor's gold, which has played out perfectly. The gold that I have added onto your sheet remains the same.
Okay, so you already added it on here.
Correct.
Oh, okay. Okay, I was earlier when I was like begging for money. I didn't even go look at my money all the way yet because I knew it was pretty empty before. It looks good now.
Yeah.
And I add 300.
And
Did you already?
yeah, you had 338. I haven't added that yet. No.
Okay. All right, I'll do that.
Okay. Add up your HPs as you guys are resting. You can see the town is bustling. There's only, there's like 4 more structures that are actually like finished, and then there's like a dozen or so that are sort of framed and getting ready to be essentially put back into place. But these people, with your help, are abandoning this location as they've suffered too much living here in the past few months that they're definitely not seeing the worth in this town and trying to get it brought back up. So if during your short rest, does anyone have anything that they wish to say as you guys are all resting together?
Can we review the missions that we got from the dragons and the lizard people?
From Corgus? Oh, from the dragons themselves. Yeah, so the dragons told you that to the... Say what?
They want elves to eat, right?
Yeah, they want you to bring back elves to them because they enjoy their company, is what they said. They want you to... Or they led you, or they said that they have information on a dragon that you could probably get the blood from. and that blood would be a lot more valuable than their own, which is not something a dragon says very often. And if you guys are willing, they would give you the location of it, but not until they essentially get you into a sort of contract sort of situation.
Okay.
And then
what?
if you needed any more riches, that after completing one of those tasks, they could give you more to do if you wanted it.
Okay. Cool. So I'll say, so what do you guys think about working with these dragons?
Fat chance. We'll be better off working with the lizard folk.
And I'm
I
gonna
don't know.
be like, did you guys not lose any gold back there? Because that
I lost
dragon
1,000.
did you really? That's insane. That's literally 999 more gold than I lost.
Sorry.
I don't think it's a good idea to work with those guys because they just seems like a scam.
In all honesty, we're better off knocking down those ogres that those lizard folk were talking about.
I don't know. This one seems like it might be worth it, guys.
Worth
Imagine
what?
having those guys on our side if we needed them.
True. But I only know one elf, and there's no deal on that.
Well, we could go get the other dragons' blood. How much do I know about dragons, Brady?
Roll an Arcana check. Anyone else that wants to test their
Yay.
history on dragons may also roll Arcana check.
Eh,
Angelica knows that they're usually large and very powerful. I'll say that Gerald, or actually, let me roll for Tamsin too. So Angelica and Tamsin both know that dragons are very, very strong creatures. They also know that there's essentially two sides of the spectrum. There's a split between good and evil between the dragons, but they don't know all of the different variations of like what each color represents or what they're capable of doing. Quinn, you do know a little bit more than Angelica and Tamsin. You know that typically the metallic colored dragons, so like the gold, silver, bronze, copper, they're usually good aligned. They typically try to do more helpful things than hindrance towards the community that they live around. They're also known to sort of polymorph into random people on occasion just to mingle with the people that they're quote unquote protecting or at least living near. Not all metallic dragons are so good that they sacrifice their own lives for that of like humanoid citizens and stuff like that. The thing you know about the chromatic dragons, which you know that the green dragons fall in that line, is they're typically more evil aligned and they're usually a lot more selfish. They look out for their own sakes as opposed of those that live around them. And another thing you know is that usually none of the colors mix well together. They usually despise each other. Even like all the metallics, they can get along if they need to, but they try to avoid each other, whereas all the chromatics will fight out in the open for territory against other colored chromatics. As for Mong and Snoopy, you guys know just a little bit more. I'll say that you guys know the breath weapons of most of the dragon colors. Um, you know that each different color has a very specific personality that is completely separate from another. And just because of your higher role and your role play for Snoopy, you know specifically that green dragons aren't really fighters. They don't enjoy fighting. They would rather manipulate people to do their bidding for them instead of outright just destroying their prey.
Okay. Thank you. That helps me narrow my Snoopy conclusions. I'm gonna say, you know how they offered us the job to get the dragon's blood? I wonder if they want us to go kill a metallic dragon by tricking us.
Judging by their actions of luring people to giving money to a well, to a waterfall, promising them false hopes, I wouldn't be surprised.
So, I don't know what you guys know about dragons, but the metallic ones, those are usually good and they might actually be able to help us. So that might be worth taking the risk on. They're either sending us to do one of two things: kill a metallic dragon or kill a chromatic dragon that's infringing upon their territory. It might be worthwhile to get some more information on that job. And if it is a metallic dragon, we could befriend it. And if
Well,
not, we
do
can
you
just
know any
go from there.
do you know any elves to lure out there?
Do we need to bring elves to get that location? Is that what they said?
They'd be more inclined to help us if we had an elf.
Well,
Do you think they're going to eat the elf?
I am more than sure.
Well, you guys had a half elf body back there. You should have just given that one to him.
I don't know where any elves are. Brady, do we know where any elves are?
You guys know that a large portion of elves come from either the Twisted Wood area or the Yodian Empire. Granted,
Is
elves are spread out all across the world, but that's where the general, like, the largest concentration of elves would be.
okay. Can I? So is that dwarf still nearby?
Uh, yeah, he's within shouting range. He's currently,
Okay.
like,
I
trying to
had
help
an
people.
idea.
Okay, I'm gonna walk up to him. I'm gonna be like, "You guys look like a really healthy community here of mixed people. Are, are,
You're
are
on
there
the
any
same
are
Yeah.
there any elves around here in your village?"
Yeah, we have a couple. They usually like to go and hunt and scout the perimeter to make sure that we're safe, especially when the lizard folk attack us. They're one of the main reasons that we've been able to hold off lizard folk invasion.
Really?
Why do you
Okay.
ask?
Oh, I have fond memories of elves, and I feel comfortable when I travel with them.
Oh, well, they're very good sorts, that's for sure. Um, you should enjoy their company on our way back to the City of Guilds.
Yeah. Do you know where any happen to be right now at this moment?
He kind of scratches his head, and they usually live a little bit closer to the lake, and he points a little bit northwest. They probably ran over there to grab their stuff. Probably on their way back now. It's been about 5 minutes or so.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you for the information.
Yes, and we should be ready to set out here shortly.
Okay. I'm gonna walk back over to the party, like away from the dwarf.
Whatever you're thinking,
Okay.
I'm not part of it.
Well, let's say for a second here, okay? Those dragons were asking for some elf folk. we could just say we have to make a small little pit stop because we forgot something in the woods, but we'd like the elves to come because they know the area very well.
Let's get into the specifics. They said they want elf folks, but more specifically, they were preferring richer elf folks.
Oh, really? Okay. I missed that part, so maybe they don't want these common elves.
I know an elf that we could give him. Is in Twisted Wood. He like runs the city in there. Wonder if we could get him out here.
That sounds perfect. Just tell them that we need his help.
Fuck that guy. Okay, well, I
Right.
say let's just get to the City of Guilds, and we have this option if it's needed.
In all honesty, I feel like their only option that we would have, aside from associating with those dragons again, would be helping those lizard folk.
Hmm.
But then again,
Down
do
to
I
help.
really feel like coming back out here?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I do. I'm very close actually to an elf, but I don't. If he was going to be eaten, I wouldn't want to take him over there. And he's pretty actually wealthy.
I'm gonna be honest with you here, Humung or whatever.
You can call me Mong or Mo.
Mons.
Like we can let me clarify. We can shorten it to Mo. Okay.
No.
Make it like Mo, M-O.
Mo. I think if we somehow come across some elves that are jerks or possibly bad guys, I think maybe then we'll take him to the dragons. I don't think we should.
Oh, and I'm
Maybe
all
Joker
for.
has some contracts that we can double up.
I'm all for busting up and kidnapping a hostile elf. That's one thing. But an innocent one, nah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, same. Let's just keep that in mind as we do our travels. That if we come across some naughty elves,
Okay,
we have just the place for them.
sounds good. Should we sneak out of here before these people realize that we left?
I think we should probably just go with them.
Yeah, that is a perfectly good idea. Considering they're clinging on to us now already.
All right.
Scenario, we have some cannon fodder.
Pull out another piece of jerky and walk away and start chewing on it.
As he does, it's like, hey man, I'm just saying, like, I don't want it, but you know,
Yeah,
say I'm off as I'm talking.
you have some questionable morals. And as I start chewing on that jerky.
Well, I'm usually the type that travels alone completely, and I don't think I've ever been in a group larger than 2 or 3. But I'll go with you guys. This sounds interesting.
Well, what's next? And I look at Quinn.
So for a second, Quinn's not paying attention. He's kind of talking to himself.
Hey, and I give him 2 snaps. Hey, what's next? What's your plan?
Anyway, yeah. So we need to go to the City of Guilds. Are they ready?
They're almost there. Just making sure that we have everything in order here.
Okay. Give me a second. I'm gonna go find that dwarf again. Excuse me, sir.
Okay. Hello. We're just about done. Give us maybe 2 more minutes.
No, take your time. That's fine. But I have a special request though. Seeing as that tavern's been destroyed, do you have anything to drink on? I'm quite parched myself. If you have
Oh,
anything.
yes. As you know, us dwarven folk, we don't go too far without our own little brew. And he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out a flask. He's like, I take it you need a little bit of liquid courage?
Mm. How much you want for the whole thing? And do you have any more?
Oh. I do have another flask, but if you're planning on purchasing this whole thing, I could let it go for 2 gold. But definitely be careful with it. As a dwarf myself, 2 swigs and I'm out. I can only imagine someone with such a small frame as yourself, probably half a swig would do.
I look at him up and I look at him down, just towering over him, small frame. I hand him 5 pieces of gold.
Oh, perfect. Yes, well, here you go. And he hands over, he puts the the flask that he had out back in his pocket and pulls a different one out and hands it to you. That one's full, so, a little bit better, more bang for your buck.
Thanks, boss. Just let us know whenever you're ready.
Sure thing.
Then, yeah, Quinn goes back
And
to sit down.
he looks at you and he pulls out his other flask. He goes, cheers, by the way.
Yeah, cheers, thank you. And I take a drink. And how
Alright.
bad is it? How strong is it?
It's really strong. Because of the fact that it is dwarven made, I need a Constitution saving throw. So as you take one swig, and you kind of hold it in your mouth by mistake, and you're like, oh shit. You swallow it and you start to cough profusely. And within a matter of seconds, everything starts to fuzz a little bit. You're getting a really, really top-notch buzz.
As I'm seeing him drinking that, I'm like still chewing the jerky that I took out, and I'm like just raising the eyebrow looking at him.
You are not lying, sir. What was your name? I don't think we ever asked. I'm sorry.
Let's see. Yeah, y'all didn't ask his name. Braden Law.
Do all dwarves know how to make this?
Well, technically, yes, but everyone puts their own little twist on it, make it a little different.
Dang, what kind of twist did you put on this? Damn, fuck.
I used, well, he kind of looks around. Actually, it's probably best that I not tell you in public. Maybe on the road if you get a chance, you and I to talk mano a mano.
And obviously not knowing that he's loud right now, just says, okay, I'll talk to you later then. And then he slowly kind of walks over to the tree that he was at before.
Okay. So you guys watch as Quinn starts heading over. And as he gets over to you guys, you see him sort of swaying from left to right just a little bit, and the hiccups are starting.
Does he have that little bubble in the cartoon?
Bubble in his nose. No, not yet. Soon.
I see him with that flask, and I would ask him the question. So I'm guessing that's not water.
I sniff.
I hand it to her.
I can tell.
I take a sniff. All right, Sparky. Well, drink responsibly, and I hand it back to him.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, I guess we'll figure out what to do next once we head back to the City of Guilds. It's been a little bit since I've been there.
Well, so we're escorting these people.
Yep. Looks like we don't have a choice. The guy just pushed them on us.
All right, we're all ready to go. And as he's saying that, you see everybody sort of like gathering in like a line. Everybody's got their packs. They've got various items. There's a couple of horse-drawn carts that are full of supplies and stuff that they're bringing back. Whenever you're all ready, I guess we can start our march and make camp elsewhere. We should have a few more hours before everyone starts getting tired.
All right. I'll walk up front with the rest. I guess someone make sure he doesn't overdo it. I start walking towards the front of the line.
Okay.
I'm gonna chill on one of the carts. It's a lot of steps for little old me.
Yeah, there's plenty of room for Snoopy to be able to sit on top one of the carts.
Okay. Can I? I'm gonna walk up to one of the carts and like talk to the person pulling it. And, like, do you mind if I hop up there? This is kind of far for my small legs.
No, it should be perfectly fine for someone of your size.
All right, thanks a ton. And I hop up on the cart.
I'll just be in the back, falling behind, kind of.
Okay. So as you guys get up into your various locations and start to move on, after everybody's essentially left the area of Green Drift, you can hear in the distance a horn being blown. And Braden Law goes, "Oh dear, the lizard folk. They must have been watching us. Any chance we can pick up the pace for a little while?"
You should be fine.
I don't think you understand our history with the lizard folk.
Well, did you do
Every
anything
now
to
and
offend them?
again, well, it would seem that on occasion, when we ran out of wood, we would go and take some from their forest, and ever since we started doing that, they would occasionally come in and try to take people from our village. We killed more of them than they stole of our people, but that horn usually means that they're coming in with a larger group.
Brady, am I nearby where I can hear this conversation?
Yeah, same.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all both there.
Okay. I'm gonna be like, well, you know what? They might be happy you guys are leaving then. We'll just tell them you're leaving and that
All right.
you surrender.
Let's pick up the pace. God damn it.
Yeah, we shouldn't have to worry about it. We kind of took care of it, I think.
There might be a misunderstanding since we're with them. So, let's do as he wishes. for the safety of both us and these people.
Okay. And as you're looking over the people with what daylight remains, you can see that they're all kind of looking back and they're all getting anxious and worried. So he's definitely not lying about that being a lizard folk horn of war or whatever. So the horses start to go from a trot to more of a, not a gallop, but whatever, what is it called? I forget the proper term, but they start to go a little bit like a trot, more of a trot. So they're
let's
picking
do
up
it.
the pace.
Is it
You're not
clambering?
you're not going like as fast as you possibly can, but you're definitely not going, just normal pace. And after a while, you look on the horizon, and then you can see a group of lizard folk, much like the group that you had first met when you went into that forest, starting to look around Green Drift. And as they do, go ahead and all of you roll me a perception check. Snoopy, you're able to make out that they seem to be dancing. You're not sure what exactly that means in lizard folk culture. Um, so your interpretation of that is up to you.
I'm pretty sure they're happy.
As the people kind of sigh in relief after seeing the lizard folk kind of stopping their pursuit, you guys get a little bit further to where you can't see the town anymore because of the trees and stuff like that, or because of the hills. And Braden Law ends up calling for a normal pace.
All right. So hopefully we should be okay now.
Yes, and I'll make sure that we have some folks to watch everybody as we sleep during the night, just in case they end up trailing us. We would hate to be ambushed in the middle of the night.
Aye. I'll be a part of that watch as well, just in case.
Well, perfect. So you guys will have about 2 to 3 hours of travel time before having to break and make camp, as the night gets too much for these normal humans and stuff like that without dark vision. They're starting to trip over themselves and stuff like that. Um, so all the folks with dark vision start to like make tents and stuff like that so that people can get in there, and takes about 20 minutes to 30 minutes for them to set up this really small camp, but you find a nice clearing off of the side of the road that everybody gears up to camp for. And for you guys, it only takes 6 hours to do a long rest. So, who, if anybody, takes a watch, and do you do it on the first or second half?
I'll take the first half.
I can do second half. I don't have anything that I need recharged, so
Yeah, I don't have anything either. I can do it. I can do
Okay.
first.
Also, during the long rest, sure Angelica wants to attune to those gloves. Does
Mhm.
anyone want to attune to that necklace? And if you do, what stat point do you want? I'll let you guys talk about that real quick. I'm gonna use the bathroom real fast.
I'm gonna actually go to the bathroom too. You guys go ahead.
Who
I
had
don't.
yeah, who had the necklace originally? Was it?
I mean, someone took it from my ashes.
Oh, okay. No, I have it then. But no, I'm talking about who had it originally. But you answered the question.
Yeah.
I think it was me, but I don't have any odd stats, so it would only help me with intelligence, which is not that helpful.
Was that your dump stat?
Not necessarily. Yeah, pretty much. Strength is my dump, but then intelligence is just like history, arcana, like knowledge facts.
Yeah, all my stats are even except my charisma, but I don't need charisma for anything.
And the only thing I'll have use for is Constitution, just to have like 1 more point of health. That's about it. So
Oh, dude.
I'm good.
Dude, if you put it in Constitution, you get all of your levels of health. So you'll get 8 health.
Oh,
If
that
makes your
wouldn't be bad
Constitution
then.
go up by 1.
I will.
So it's really,
So you can
only.
have it.
Alright, I guess.
Yeah, give the barbarian more health.
I mean, I'm a beef muffin, and I already can heal myself each turn.
What is that ability? What are you?
It's homebrew, it's bone breaker, and like I get as a bonus action, I could either attack 1 more time, in a total of 3 times, or I could go into rage, or I can choose to hit die and heal myself real quick.
Oh, you have. It's using hit die.
Yeah. So I could roll a 15
Like,
and
man,
get
where's
15
the-
health, or 11. It varies.
Also, Tamsin could possibly use the necklace to get a +1 to her Constitution,
We're
which
giving
would
it to the
give
barbarian.
her.
His
Oh, are you?
Constitution is more important than hers.
Okay. No, that's perfectly fine.
And am I right?
All right.
Where he gets 1 Constitution point, he gets
Yeah.
health
So
for
if
every
it puts his
attack, right?
modifier up, yeah. Well, so it doesn't give him a +1. It gives him the single stat point. So his Constitution, if it was a 15, would become a 16, which would give him the +1 mod, which would give him more. But if it's an easy or an even number, it wouldn't give him the
Yes,
additional.
exactly.
Never mind, because I'm going to 17 then. If I
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
damn.
Yeah, I thought
One
you
thing-
were. I thought you were
Yeah.
going up one thing.
only thing I'll have is charisma then. I can go to 18 for.
Does that? Do you use charisma for
Tamsin.
No. I mean, aside from using Hellish Rebuke, that's about it.
Let's give it to Tamsin then for her Constitution.
Yep.
Okay.
So
If you level up and get another stat point, put 1 in Constitution at least.
And we get another. We get a choice of another feat next level too, right, Brady?
No. You guys are level 8. Your next feat will be at level 12.
Okay.
Let me just put this on her sheet so that she knows where it came from.
Okay, Brady, how many days have passed since we left the Twisted Wood? It's not very many.
Since you left the Twisted Wood,
Is it 4?
let's see.
4 or 5?
Believe session Fight Strahd. Session 9. Yeah, you guys left the Twisted Wood at session 9, which was on day 28. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. Since you guys, after this long rest, will be on the next day.
So
Oh, okay.
7 days. Every
Been a
person
solid-
in the party except for Snoopy has been exchanged.
Not 100%. I mean, Quinn switched, I think, on session 8,
Oh,
7
that's
or
right.
8.
He was in the Twisted Wood.
Yeah.
Donovan just kind of went squirrel and then left.
Yes.
So 8 days.
Yeah. But yeah, in theory, I mean, you are in theory correct.
Damn.
So who was taking the second watch? Snoopy was?
Yes.
I'll take
Angelica
the
the
watch
first.
as well.
Okay. And then did Mo want to take a watch? Tamsin's just going to check out and be like, I'm tired. I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, I can. I don't need anything. I'll do it.
Okay. Do you want to do the first one and you and Angelica can role play? Or do you want to go on the last one and role play with Snoopy and Quinn?
Maybe I'll go to the last one because I haven't even. My character hasn't talked to Snoopy very much.
That's true, because he wasn't here last week.
But
All right.
yeah.
So the first watch, as everybody starts to go to sleep, Angelica, you step away from the campsite a little bit and you start looking up in the sky. And as you're looking up, you see the stars. They seem to be extra bright today. You can see them glistening and stuff like that. Go ahead and roll me a perception check. Okay. So as you're looking around, everything seems pretty calm. There's the occasional gust of wind. Nothing too strange going on. Just so you guys are aware, let's see. After a couple hours, why is this feet? Oh, that's because we're not on the world map. Let me go to the world map. There we go, that's better. So after a couple hours, you're just past the fork in the road, where the western road goes towards Dire Vale, and the eastern road heads towards the City of Guilds. So you're like right in this area right here camping. And as you're looking around and stuff, in the distance you can hear the howls of a wolf pack, and you point your ear towards the sound, and you can tell that they're coming from the sound is coming from the north. And as you walk to the other side of the camp and start looking, you can see a bunch of glowing yellow eyes like peering from the bush, and you can hear from a distance low growls coming, but there's no imminent threat that you can feel. They're obviously just scoping out the place, kind of seeing what this large group of people are in their territory for. You definitely outnumber them. It's probably a wolf pack. With your perception, you can tell there's maybe half a dozen of them or so. The eyes sort of blink in and out and go through the bushes. So you stand over there and just keeping an intimidating presence. Especially with your size, your sheer bulk, they definitely don't even want to tussle with you at all.
Yeah, I was about to say I was going to
And-
swell up a little bit, and just sneer at them.
Okay. Roll intimidation for me.
You had to say something.
Damn.
No. So as you kind of sneer, you can see that they, like the moment that you do that and you kind of like jerk forward a little bit, you hear an immediate reaction as they sort of jolt back a little, and they just like growl at you, and then they slowly back away. You can tell that their presence is still in the immediate area. They're definitely keeping a watch to see if any stragglers like head into that location, just waiting to attack.
I will head back to whoever is. Who else is awake right now during my watch?
Braden Law, the dwarf, as well as one of the elven folks. They're on opposite ends of the sort of encampment, sort of keeping there's not a lot of people coming from Green Drift. There were maybe, a total of 45, 50 people that lived in that village. Age ranges anywhere from newborn infant all the way to elder. So, yeah, Braden Law is at one sort of corner, sitting on a stool. Looks like he's sipping something. And then the elven gentleman is on the south side, kind of out of sight almost. You know that he's there, but you don't immediately see him. He's probably up in a tree or something.
I go over to the elven gentleman.
Okay. What are you doing over here? Shouldn't you be watching the other side?
I'm giving a fair warning. There's a pack of wolves in the woods nearby. Keep an eye out.
Are there?
Yeah.
Where exactly? Point them out.
I end up pointing in a direction
He hops
where
down
I
from the
was.
tree. Okay. He takes his longbow out and he draws 2 arrows and he holds them, or he draws his bow back and he holds it for a second. And after like a few seconds of him holding that, he shifts his bow slightly to the right, unleashes, and you can hear the whimper of a wolf getting hit by the arrow, and then you can hear the whole pack leaving. That should take care of that. Good find.
And I
Are you a
go up
scout?
you could say so. I'm in his work for a little bit. But, yeah, just looking out.
I'll be honest, I've never really seen a tiefling your size before. What exactly, how did that happen?
I'm not necessarily a tiefling, though I may look like one. I was abandoned as a kid, but my parents were both a giant and a fiend. It's a long story.
Yes, sounds quite odd if I'll be honest, or if I'm being honest. But also sounds like a good story if we had more time and situations weren't as dire. Perhaps maybe, if everything goes well on this journey, we could have a drink over it.
I'll be okay with that. I go out for a handshake.
The name is... Okay, and as you do that, Sarek.
Angelica. You can call me Angie.
Pleasure to meet you, Angie. As much as I'd love to continue talking, I'm going to go back to my post. I suggest you do the same. Make sure these people stay safe.
Noted. And go ahead and walk back towards my post.
Okay. During the rest of your watch, nothing in particular ends up happening. So you go to wake up Quinn, Snoopy, and Mo. And as you wake them up, you kind of think to yourself, why did none of them want to take a watch with me?
Yeah. Hey, look. It's your time. I need some sleep.
I'm gonna like look at him completely like it doesn't look like I was even sleeping at all.
Hey, man.
Yeah, no worries.
Hey, man. Her.
Oh, sorry, her. I never asked what she identified.
I'm a straight up woman.
Okay.
Just got a deep voice.
I know. So I was
Yeah,
thinking-
the voice is legit what Angelica sounds like too. It is deep as all hell.
Yeah. What are you doing? But I'm a legit. I'm all woman. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay.
Snoopy like gets up and he kind of looks up at Angelica, then stretches his arms out and then does the shoulder raise thing. I guess it's our turn, boys.
All right. Don't kill anything without me. As I like walk towards one of the carts and sit next to it.
I'm gonna
and
reply
lay my
back
head
to him.
back.
I'm gonna reply back to him as he says that. I'm like, oh, do you need some blood too?
Maybe.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay, so Quinn, and Snoopy and Mo, you guys all wake up. The other elven gentleman replaces Sarek, and then Braden goes to sleep. The other elven gentleman goes to watch the sort of south area, saying that you guys should be able to take care of the north.
Okay.
Go ahead and give me perception checks, and if there's any RP you wish to do, you can go ahead and start that.
Jeez, that's rough.
Oh,
Hey, at least Mo Town can get it.
Oh yeah, that's like I'm just proficient in everything, so I'm getting something now.
Yeah, yeah, grades too.
Okay.
So,
So yeah, go ahead and do your roleplay.
what's your deal? I look at Mo.
What do you mean?
Like, what do you do?
Well, I just kind of wander around, you know. I mean, you guys have seen I have to feed on some blood every once in a while. As I get a little cranky, you know, and then actually it starts hurting me. But that's the gist of it right now.
How old are you?
How old do I look?
How old does he look to me? Joe.
He looks like a child, like a teenager, like he's about to be a teenager. So like 11, 12-ish.
Okay, I say.
I don't remember what race you are. Are you human boy?
Yeah, human. Just very
Okay,
nondescript,
that's
like
what I thought.
normal in every way.
I say, you look like you're 77 years old.
Do I? Then I have problems. I thought I was a little better at this than that.
Yeah. My master, he was like 800 years old.
Really? Well, you know, it's a funny thing because I feel like I'm a lot older. And when I was in City of Guilds last time, that stupid guy down at the orphanage kept on trying to put me in there because I looked like a homeless little kid. Who else was on watch with us?
Just
So,
Quinn, and the elf didn't introduce himself, but he said he'd take care of one side of the camp.
how old are you trying to look?
Well, I would say like about 11 or 12.
11? You'd only be like an infant.
You said I look like what?
If you tried to look like you were 11, you'd only be like a toddler. Barely be able to talk.
Really? I thought that all humans that were 11 looked like this.
Oh. No, usually a toddler's like 14 to 21 years old. Then like they go through puberty at around 80 years old. And then they die like at 700 years old.
What is Quinn over there?
How old does Quinn look to Snoopy?
Like 16, 17 as a human. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Gerald.
Quinn is like 26, I think.
Oh.
Oh, never mind. That was Kai. That's right. Kai was the kid brother.
I
Yeah,
see.
Quinn looks like he's 26 as a human.
Quinn's approaching 200 years old.
Oh, jeez. Okay, I just realized what's going on. I'm gonna be like, are you sure you're not thinking in dog years?
Dog years? Well, those are just years to me.
I know, but maybe time passes a little differently for humans, like me. As I am just a standard humanoid boy.
Quinn just raises one eyebrow. Then takes a drink of that drink.
Oh yeah.
All right, Constitution save from Quinn.
Did we, from our perception checks, did we see anything at all at the time?
We're gonna get there after y'all are done role playing. But what you
okay.
do see is Quinn raise an eyebrow, reach into his coat, and pull out that flask, and he takes a swig. And after drinking it this time without holding it in his mouth, he's like, "Ah, what a burn!" Instantly buzzed, almost to the point of being drunk.
Go over to him and pat him on the back with my mage hand. A little lightweight.
Yeah, I don't do this that often.
Are you
Yeah,
okay?
you-
Is this a cry for help?
You think some?
Quinn starts to laugh a little bit and just kind of ignore the question.
You think for somebody that's almost 200 years old they could handle it better?
Snoopy kind of like nuzzles in. What do you do when Snoopy tries to nuzzle in under your arm?
Is he nuzzling to me or Quinn?
Not Mo. Quinn.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're doing it to Quinn?
Yeah.
I'll let it kind of open up my arm so he can get comfortable. And then also I'll let him know, hey, I meant to tell you this earlier. But don't let Babala Saga or whatever her name is. Yeah, don't let her get to you. You're always a good boy.
And I just kind of like start wagging my tail. And then I'm probably gonna fall asleep in Quinn's lap. Not my
I'll keep
And
petting
I
Snoopy.
say, thanks, Quinn. And you kind of like, I don't know, dogs don't really cry, but you can tell like Snoopy's pretty upset after today. Because this is the first night since Saberwolf died, right?
Correct.
Also Vicavor too.
And Vic.
Yeah, let's not forget about him.
Yeah.
Hey, Ethan, Joe liked Vicavor as a character. Don't ever think that I didn't like him. Snoopy, on the other hand, wasn't the biggest fan.
Oh, it's fine.
I'm able to separate those things.
Well, Brady, you can take back my complaint then that I wrote to you
Oh, okay.
about Joe. Joe personally not
Yeah.
liking my character.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. All right.
No, he was hilarious. I am gonna miss having Vicavor in the party.
Yeah, bro, it had me rolling, dude.
But it's Snoopy.
Yeah, I don't think so. Fireball. Fuck these lizards. Continue.
All right. I'm gonna look over at Snoopy for a second. Like, Snoopy, you may be able to help me with something. I have this little kind of scam that I run. I've done it before in City of Guilds, and I don't usually actually have a dog to do it with. Would you be interested in something like that? Joe's on
He
mute.
muted himself, so I think
Yeah.
he's talking to his wife.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know how I muted myself. I didn't click anything. Magic.
Oh,
Anyways,
in that
I was
case,
talking
yeah.
and I talked quite a bit, so let me remember where I started. Okay, so you you watched me like snuggle up to Quinn and start to like get droopy eyes and about to fall asleep, and then you start talking to me again, and I like give you this like side whale eye look, like, and then you start talking. But then when you say scam, my ears perk up and my tail kind of starts wagging, and I'm like, "Excuse me, Quinn," and I kind of like back out of his arm. It's like, "I'll be right back." So then I go over to Mo and say, sit in front of him. So, what you got?
Oh, it's nothing too big. It just we can get something of great value from common people in the city. I'll show you when we get there. It's not that hard. All you have to do is lie there.
LIE or well, I guess lay down or
Yeah, yeah. All you have to
not
do is
public.
lay on the ground. That's it. That's all you got to do. It'll be the easiest scam you ever pulled off in your life. But we'll get to that when we get there. There's a lot of time still.
Huh?
And I'm gonna like go kind of sit down and put my back against one of the parts, kind of looking out.
So like I got up and like sat in front of him for 2 seconds and I turned back around like I look at Quinn and roll my eyes.
He's definitely an interesting one.
And then with my 10 of a perception, I think falling asleep is basically what I did. So
Yeah, you curl up and by Quinn's lap as he's kind of just looking up at the stars. Occasionally glances over at Mo to see what he's doing. So you're even with hearing, you don't really hear anything as you're starting to sort of doze off. You are just a little puppy. And Quinn, what you see is like as you guys are looking towards the northern area, the moon is pretty lit up. It's almost full. You do know that in 2 days it was supposed to be a full moon, and Saberwolf was going to be able to go and meet some people of his own type, more lycanthropes, something that he claimed he didn't have much experience with, and he was looking forward to that. And as you're looking at the moon, staring up at it, Mo is looking over at you, and he looks at it too. And then you guys see this dark silhouette sort of fly across the bottom portion just for a brief moment and then go out of sight. And you kind of blink your eyes and you look back up. You don't see anything else. And as you're squinting, looking forward, trying to figure out what it is you just saw, if anything, you can hear from a couple 100 feet away, you can hear something rather large make movement.
I'm gonna look over at Quinn and be like, "Should we go check that out?" Because we both saw it, right?
Correct.
So you said which way was the noise coming from?
North.
Uh, um, hey Mo, do me a favor.
Mhm.
Can you ask the other elf if they heard that or seen any of that?
Okay, I'm gonna go over to the other elf.
Okay. The other elf is only like 30 feet away from you. And currently they're at the base of a tree, sort of leaning up against it, and they're only looking south. As you get about 20 feet away from them, he kind of puts his head over his shoulder. Shouldn't you be watching the other side?
Yeah, but listen, Quinn's over there still, looking around. We both saw something. It looked like something fly close to the moon, and there's a dark figure over there.
Well, North is your side, so you should probably go check it out and make sure we're safe. If I
Okay,
hear
are
you
you on-
scream, I'll wake everyone up and we'll start booking it.
Okay, are you on watch with anybody else right here?
Nope, just me.
All right. Well, I'll call out for you if it's more than we can handle.
Perfect. Good luck. And he turns back, looking towards the south.
I'm just gonna like whisper under my breath, as I'm like 25 feet from jerk, and then go back to Quinn.
Okay.
And then
You head back to Quinn, and Quinn,
Go ahead.
you have kept looking up towards the north, and you don't see anything, but like even with the moonlight, occasionally a cloud comes in and sort of covers it up to where you have to squint and you can't see anything but pure black. But every now and then, you hear a faint growl coming from the north.
Faint growl. So I turn to Mo. So what was said?
Well, he basically said we're on our own, unless we really need help.
Great turn.
Okay. So I couldn't make out what kind of growl that was, Brady.
Roll me a nature check.
Have you woken me up?
I'll do that right now. I'm gonna like kind of nudge Snoopy, be like, "Hey, boy, wake up!"
I kind of snap at you. What?
You can't tell. It's not loud enough. Like it's because you're awake. It's loud enough for you to hear it, but you can't make out what kind of creature it is. Obviously, from the distance that you heard the sort of loud foot stomps, you're guessing it's a couple 100 feet at most away from you, and it could be anything. But if you're able to hear it and you are correct in your assumption that it's a couple 100 feet, it's definitely something big.
Okay, and we can't see the figure of it anymore.
Mm-mm.
I'm
Not
gonna
with the
look
pure
over.
blackness.
Okay, I'm gonna look at Quinn and be like, "Well, should we go check it out?"
We can go check it out. Do you guys hear something or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what it is, but it's something big. I proceed to go walk towards it.
Okay. Does anyone follow, or is it just
I'm going.
Quinn?
I'll go, but I'm gonna follow behind them a little bit. I'm gonna ask him like, how far are we going out there?
What was the distance? You said it was about 100.
100, right?
Yeah, a couple hundred, anywhere between 100 to a couple more. You're not 100% sure.
I'm gonna set Vigilus down in where we were. God, my dog is- I'm gonna set Vigilus down where we were.
Where you were sitting at before leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah,
And then I'm
perfectly
gonna
fine.
summon Goofy as well.
Okay. So it only takes, a couple seconds for you to go out about, 120 feet-ish, and you're starting to look around. The road in front of you, as the clouds move past, the moon lights up, and you can see the road for a couple 100 feet, and you don't see anything there. The wind starts to blow, and the large, tall bushes next to you start to move with it, swaying back and forth, giving this sort of eerie feeling. And you kind of just like look over, and you can hear something else moving within. That's when you see these large yellow eyes open and stare at you. Probably within 20 feet of you. You guys are on the road. 20 feet or 10 feet away from you is this big bunch of bushes. And 10 feet inside of those bushes, you see these very large yellow eyes, probably about the size of Snoopy.
I'm gonna use my mind message thing and try to send a message to the whatever the eyes creature is, and just be like,
Okay.
Can we help you?
Sure. I think maybe you could march these people that serve me back to their home, instead of trying to lead them away. I thought that we had done good business together.
And as the creature responds to your message, you see the neck sort of protrude out, and in front of you, with the moonlight helping you, you can see Lasarth.
What?
The lizard folk shaman told me that you all were leaving. And it's a good thing that you had to rest, for it did not take me very long to find you. Might I ask why? Why is it that I let you leave my little forest without harming you at all, and you steal from me?
And as she says, steal from me, you can see the glisten of her teeth as she's sort of snarling at you.
Okay, so we can all hear that, right?
Correct. Yeah, she's talking now. But she's making sure that you guys being 100 feet out, she's using that to her advantage, not to wake anybody else up.
Hold on, so Lasarth, what do you mean steal from me? We had no idea that these people were with you. How are they with you?
Brayton Law must have tried to finagle his way out of our little agreements. He didn't mention anything, did he? Dwarves, you can't trust them. Always a hidden agenda.
That makes sense why he was so pushy to get out of there. He basically forced our hand.
Yeah, we had nothing. We had no idea. I'm about to go wake his monkey ass up right now.
Of course, yes. It all makes sense to me now. You were tricked by a dwarf. He tried to use you all as an escape from my clutches. And because he was successful, I will have to find a new leader. Looks like someone that won't try to finagle their way out of this one. But do wake him up, please. Bring him to me, but don't tell him why.
I go get him.
I say, hey, Lasar. Guess what? There's a couple elves.
Yes, little one.
There's a couple elves in this lot for you if you.
Oh, you should bring them to me too. Do they work for Brayden Law? I'm assuming they do.
They definitely do. They guard the city.
Oh, that'd be perfect.
Before we go on too much, let's start just bear in mind that we don't have any idea of the geopolitical or inner workings of this city.
We were actually leaving the city, and they wanted to. We were just traveling with them to City of Guilds.
Well, of course. They saw that you had made it back from the waterfall, one that they commonly send travelers to, at my beck and call. And because you intended to go there, and you made it back, Obviously, they
mean,
saw this as an opportunity to leave. They were very incorrect. Yes, go get the elves. Go get Braden. Bring them in front of me. But don't tell them it is me. In fact,
You see as she gets up and she walks out into the middle of the road, you notice that she leaves not a trace. As you look back into the patch of grass that she was laying in, you can't tell that anything that her size was even there. And she puts one paw down into the middle of the road, and you watch as she firmly presses it down.
show them that. They should understand from then that they've made a mistake. Go get them. Show them my paw print.
Hey, Lasarth, how do you do that?
Perhaps, maybe, if we get a little more acquainted, I could show you.
And she smiles. You can see rows and rows of teeth glistening in the moonlight.
Quietly, go get Braden and the elves. Bring them here. Show them what you found.
I'm just gonna like look at Lasarth and like grin, big grin, almost evil.
All right, I go off.
Okay. And Quinn.
Yeah,
Alright, so Snoopy's going and Quinn as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
gonna-
with him.
On the way, I'm gonna message Quinn like, "Hey, man, I don't think we really had a choice with this one."
No, I'm surprised that Lasar's territory even was reaching this far. It's crazy.
Yeah, I had no idea. I thought all their treasure was in their lair. Anyways, let's try not to get killed.
Right.
Okay, so what do you say to get Braden, Law, and the elves to follow you? Braden, Law, and one of the elves are in a single tent with each other. There's no other patrons in there, and the other elf is still looking towards the south, probably about 10 feet away from their tent.
Okay, so first and foremost, as we come back, I tap Angelica and wake her up and let her know that we got an issue.
I send a
What?
message saying, "Keep it down." But we have a Lasarth predicament going on right now.
Me or talking to Quinn?
That's to Kevin.
Oh, okay. Oh. What? What's...
Can I just do a quick... No, screw that. I'll roleplay it. What am I thinking?
Yeah. Also, real quick, Kevin, so long rests don't automatically replenish your HP, so you shouldn't be at full right now.
Okay.
I don't think.
But they do refill spell slots,
But
right?
yeah, you get your spell slots and traits, like class traits and stuff back. You get half of your hit dice back, and at the end of the long rest, you can spend hit die. Or no, at the beginning of the long rest, you can spend hit die to regain some HP for the long rest. So if you want to spend some hit die, since you two are the only one that are missing, you can do the normal routine, declare how many, roll that many, and then go ahead and gain back half of your total, which should be 4.
Okay. We'll do that then. So you said roll for. Let me see.
No, you don't roll. Yeah, so you declare how many you want to roll. Go ahead and roll those, and then after you expend those hit die, go ahead and add 4 to the remaining hit die that you have, because you regain half of your hit die after a long rest.
Gotcha. Okay. So, 2.
Quinn, that's enough to put you back to full. Go ahead and roll your 2 there, Kevin. That's enough to put you back to full. And then everybody go ahead and add 4 hit dice. If it puts you at 8, 8 is the total that you get at level 8, so just keep it at 8. You can't go above that, unfortunately. And yeah, Mo and Tamsin, I don't believe, have had to roll any HPs yet, so y'all should have 8. Pretty much like fresh. Alright, so now Angelica is awake. You have told her the news of your guest.
What the hell? What does she want?
You're cutting in and out again, Kevin. I did hear what you said. If no one else heard what he said, he asked, I think he said, damn, what does she want?
Yeah. That's what I said.
You'll find out in a second. We got to get Braden into 2 L's.
What do you mean, we?
I say, do you want to sit this one out, pussy?
Well, I'd gladly incline on that. It sounds like you guys are about to do something very, very wrong.
No.
All right, go back to sleep.
Doing something wrong might never mind. I don't think you'd understand lawful good.
Come on, Snoop.
Sometimes
I
you
get
gotta
up.
think about the greater good.
I get up and crack my neck. Now, where the hell do we gotta go?
I go to the wood elves by the tree.
Alright. He's standing there and he looks back. Yes, do you need something?
Yeah. So you know that thing that Mo came over here and told you about?
I do. Did you deal with it?
No, that's the issue. Come look at this real quick. And you may want to bring the dwarf with you as well.
And your friend.
No. And he kind of looks a little uneasy now, but he nods. Actually, roll me a persuasion check. Or
I was
deception.
hoping you did not say that. Hold on.
I don't use these enough.
Said persuasion or deception?
Yeah, if you're telling him the truth, actually, yeah, you are telling him the truth. That you need him to come look at something. So roll persuasion. Okay, and he kind of looks at you. He's like, "I don't understand exactly why we need to wake up both of them. I should be able to take a gander at it. Go ahead and show me."
Yeah,
I walk over towards Quinn and the elf. Like, look, Go ahead and get them. I'll keep watch.
You tell that to the elf.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you can roll me persuasion as well. DC is a lot higher. No, I think I can handle this on my own. Go ahead and show me what it is that you want to show everyone, and if it is important, I'll wake them up.
Alright.
Where is the sleeping elf?
The sleeping elf is inside of a tent that's about 10 feet beside you guys. Where this elf...
In there.
Yeah, he's in his trance.
Can I blink in there?
Sure.
I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna tap him on the shoulder.
Okay, and as you tap him on the shoulder, he kind of like, you watch as his eyes sort of like, they scrunch up a little bit, and he wakes up out of his trance, and he looks at you. He's like, can I help you?
Say, yes. Your friend is being difficult, and we need you and your buddy and the dwarf come help us with something that happened up to the north. Please come with us.
I'm almost certain that Sarah can handle it.
And I say, you're...
Go ahead and roll me a perception or persuasion.
You're
But
wrong.
obviously, if you're waking me up, then maybe you know something that he... Yes, fine. And he stretches and he nudges Braden Law. Hey, the dog says there's something we need to all take a look at. Can't it wait until the morning?
I look at him straight in the eyes and just slowly shake my head no.
He kind of looks at you puzzled. All right, well, go ahead and lead the way then.
I say,
Then
come.
the tent flap opens up and they come out, and Saris, or not Sarek, the other elf kind of shakes his head. You're persistent, I'll give you that. All right, now you got us all. Show us what you need to show us.
So,
You
we-
guys go ahead. I'll keep
I
watch.
whisper
in their
to
place.
Snoopy, good boy.
Yes, I would mark that one in my note. Get
You,
another
you guys go on ahead. I'll keep watch here and make sure nothing happens around here.
win. Oh, that's my first.
Perfect,
win.
thank you.
On the way back, I'm gonna pick up Vigilus.
Okay. You pick up Vigilus and, stow it away. And you head up about 120 feet. And as you get up there, you can see the paw print, and it's about 20 feet ahead of you.
And so I stop, and I kind of motion to my friends, and I say, "Go see that up there. Go check that out. I'm not really sure what to make of it."
Yeah, I was gonna say, could I like mold earth it so it doesn't like surprise them or anything like that, without messing up the paw print?
So you cast Mold Earth now that you're pointing out what they want to go look at.
No, I was gonna try to do it before, but I was asking you if I could do that because I didn't know if I could.
Oh. Yeah, you can mold
Without
earth to
damage.
sort of make the ground elevate in front of it, sort of blocking the view unless they get right up next to it.
Then yeah, I want to do that.
Okay. Next time you will have to do that before you wake them up, otherwise no retcon.
I didn't know. I was unsure if I could do without damaging it. But I mean, I should ask.
Always ask. Worst case, I tell you that you try it and it fucks it up, which is essentially how things would go anyway. Hey, can I try this? Sure, you can definitely try that. So you point out it's over the little divot or whatever, and they kind of look at each other. And they start to walk forward, and they look as they approach, and you guys sort of stay back. They look over, and Braden Law scratches his head, and he's like, "What is this doing way out here? We're far out of their turret." Oh. And as they sort of look up and look at each other, they look back at you, and
I can travel great paces, and you all have messed up for the last time.
and you just see this cloud of smoke engulf them, and you can hear them coughing. And they get out one, maybe two coughs each before you can hear them fall to the ground. And as this cloud of smoke starts to get whisked away, you see three dead people right in front of you, all clutching their throats. Then you can hear, or you see, you do not hear Lasarth getting up, but you can see Lasarth getting up. And she walks towards the bodies, and with her claws, she stabs each one of them like in the middle of the back. And when she takes out, you can see a trail of blood following where her claw is, and she stabs each one of them.
Well, I greatly appreciate you helping me with this. They were getting troublesome. I was seeing less and less people come to my falls, which is not good for business. What's the point of protecting a village if they do not help you gain gold? Little boy, I seem to remember that you have a knack for blood. Do you want one of these bodies, preferably the dwarf?
Oh yes, definitely. I would definitely take you up on that offer. As I look with like drool coming down my face.
Can I check their pockets?
And I believe
Yeah, sure. In a sec. Well,
I was gonna.
And what about your tall friend? Does she want a vial of their blood? She seems to be collecting it.
She kind of opted out.
Very well. Now here's what you're going to do. Little boy, go ahead and take a few glugs. Enjoy your meal from the dwarf. And turn these folks around, send them back. I'll give them a few days, as I'm sure the disappearance of their leader is sure to raise tensions. But I think you're all plenty capable. If they're not back within a couple days, well, don't bother coming back.
What about the lizard folk? They said that they've been attacked many times by lizard folk people. Can you do anything about that?
The lizard folk revere me as a god. I send them to attack to keep them in line. They're doing exactly as I wish.
Okay. What if we well, I guess if you wanted to die randomly, that's fine. The only reason they wanted to leave was because their town keeps getting burnt down. So maybe if it was a tiny bit more peaceful, they wouldn't mess up as much and try to leave.
Oh my. I didn't know that they were so sensitive to brutality. Oh, dear me.
you watch as Lasarth puts the back of her paw against what would be her forehead.
I should have seen the signs earlier. Thank you, little boy.
It reminds me of Scar. Lion
That's what I was going for, pretty much. Yeah.
Snoopy like caught on to that like before Mo even started saying it. I like kind of start wagging my tail and chuckling.
How about this? You tell them that if they continue forward, that on your watch you saw a large group of lizard folk lying in ambush for them. And then you make up whatever lie you need to, or promise. Doesn't matter to me. Just get them back. If they're afraid of the lizard folk, and they should be, I don't think that they would willingly go towards them.
All right.
And she beckons you to go ahead and take your sips of blood.
Nice. I'm gonna like pounce on top of it.
You guys watch this child go into this sort of ravenous hunger, like, and just start to gulp down. And after a few good gulps, you feel the Sarth like sort of bat you away very lightly, like rough enough to where like you can't overpower her, being so tiny compared to her, but not enough to damage you.
The rest is mine.
And you watch as she grabs the bodies. With one of the elves, she tosses it up in the air and swallows it whole. And you were going to say something, Snoopy?
I was gonna ask, like, hey, the Sarth, I'm just curious a little bit more about that other dragon. When's a good time that we can talk about it?
How about once you get these people back to their home and settled in, come back to my waterfall and we can discuss it further. These elves aren't the most scrumptious thing, but I think that you have shown your unyielding loyalty to me.
Can I have a little hint? What kind of dragon is it?
She puts the bodies down. She crouches real low, and her face starts to sort of like slither in very close to you, to where you can feel her hot breath as she gets like right in your face.
It is an evil dragon, far worse than me.
I kind of go.
You would be a hero.
Does it have a color?
Everyone would. A color? Of course it has a color. All dragons have color. But I think it would be more enjoyable for you to find that out on your own, don't you think? If I give you all the surprises.
Well, it does sound more fun, but if we know what color, we can probably do what you're asking us to do easier, because we'll know what we're up against.
And you watch her eyes narrow.
Come back when you get these peasants back to their home, and we'll talk further. If you're not capable of the job, then I wouldn't send you.
I shake it off and go, okay. It's like wagging my tail.
Yeah. And she was eating an elf, right? Just a second ago.
Correct.
Okay, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna ask Sarth, like, you mind if I just take those clothes off Brayden right there? They might have use for us here to get these villagers back to their town.
Oh, if you need proof. And she goes back to the bodies. She puts one paw on like Brayden's torso, and with her claw, she dips it into the top part of the chest and rips the head off.
That should be everything that you need. Tell them the lizard folk came in the night.
Well, it wasn't so much
You
as
were
the proof.
able-
I just thought his clothes were really nice.
Fine. I have no need for his clothes, but you must undress him.
Okay, I'm gonna go up and take the clothes off.
All right.
I'm gonna put them in my inventory here.
And as you take the clothes off, there's a little bit of a jingle.
Ah, you're a clever one. Empty his pockets.
Oh,
What's
definitely.
his is mine.
I don't want anything of his pocket in his pockets. So I'm gonna go ahead and empty the contents out of his pockets.
Okay. And there's a couple sacks of what you can tell is coins, but you have no idea what type of coins. There's another sack full of what feels to be gems, and you have no idea what gems they are. You also pull out a flask that's half full, and she looks at you when you pull that out.
Keep that as a token
Okay.
of my gratitude.
Okay, I'm gonna take the flask and I'm gonna toss it back to Quinn and wink at him at the same time.
What was the ancient dragon's name? Umra?
Umra,
Umra?
Omra.
Okay. Anyways, hey Lasarth, where's Umra?
Protecting our clutch, of course.
Oh, duh.
I think we only need one of us to send a message to these peasants, don't you think?
Yeah, I would say you're even overkill. That's it. I'm gonna send a message to Quinn. Before I do this, do I know for sure that nothing can intercept a message?
I don't think you do, no. Snoopy has ever had it happen before, so by all rights, you would have no reason to believe that it could be done.
Okay, I send a message to Quinn and say, now might be the time. That's all I say.
What did you say?
I say, now might be the right time. Did you hear what I was what I asked her? If Omra... Oh, can I tell if she was lying when she said that? I really assume that she's telling the truth, but...
Go ahead and roll insight.
Versus her charisma, which is probably like... Yeah, probably higher than 6.
You're almost 100% certain that she was being truthful.
I am, like Joe is, but Snoopy definitely is.
Correct.
So, Gerald, did you hear, like, I asked her where Omra was, and she said he was protecting their lair. And so then I send you a message saying, this might be the right time. I don't know if my...
Oh,
cut
he
out.
just...
What was the last thing you said?
I heard you,
Okay.
but he just rejoined. You there,
Okay.
Gerald?
Test 1, 2. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yep.
So, Gerald.
Okay, so you were like, everybody was like crackling in and out.
Okay. I asked Lasarth where Omra was, and she said back at the lair guarding the gold, which I assumed, and I don't think she's lying. So I sent a message to you saying now might be the right time. And I said, send another one, 20,000 gold.
Uh, uh, and like where, Brady, where's the head of the dwarf at?
The head of the dwarf is behind Lasarth.
Looking at looking at Snoopy, I just point at the head and just kind of just shake my head.
You just see me do one of the like, yep, nods.
Okay, cool.
All right, that's. I'm not gonna just attack.
Oh.
This is our opportunity, but Brady probably has Omra circling above us.
I can see that.
Remember, you only have a few days.
As Lasarth gets up and turns away, she grabs the other elf, and the rest of the body of Braden Law, and she unfurls her wings.
I have a question real quick.
For
Lasard. So do you want us to personally see these people back, or?
she turns around, or turns her head around to look at you. She says,
I do not require you to be there. I just require them to be there to continue what it is that they do.
Okay. So, Lasarth, why don't we do this? We'll get them back there. Obviously, the more we get back there, the better, right?
You're testing my patience. Get them
I'm
there. We'll talk
I'm not.
about rewards later.
No, I don't require any reward. Simply serving is enough for me. But
Or
can you
we
just?
could wake up. Go ahead.
Oh, can you just have your lizard folk not attack while they're journeying back?
Yeah.
That way you have more villagers, because otherwise you'll lose some on the way.
Or we can wake them up now, and you could just escort them.
No, I do not wish for them to know of my existence, not all of them. That is not a proper way to get genuine responses for people to come to my waterfall. So, make sure that the town remains oblivious.
Okay.
Otherwise... Oh dear. The repercussions. Now, safe travels.
she looks back forward, unfurrows her wings, and without a sound, one great flap, you see dust sort of spread everywhere, and she starts to fly back towards the waterfall that she lives at, without hardly making a sound.
What time of night is it now?
It is like 3 in the morning.
All right. So I'm gonna talk to Quinn and Snoopy, and they're like, do you guys think we should wait till morning or just get them up now?
I think we should do it now and kind of scare them into going back.
Okay. I can handle this. Why don't we just go back over there and we'll just tell them to go back, okay?
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna be like, so the clothes, Braden's clothes, he's probably pretty similar to like my height and stuff like that already.
Yes, he is.
He was already. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put his clothes on. Switch his clothes switch into his clothes.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go ahead.
Lasarf didn't take the head, right?
No. She just took the body.
Okay.
Kind of not leave that on the path.
Yeah, might be a good idea to hide that head there somewhere. I'm gonna look over at Snoopy.
I'm glad y'all got that.
I had an idea for it, but I'm
Alright,
gonna
Like,
let Mo
over
do
and
his
grab
thing.
okay. I'm
And
gonna
it's
look
gonna
over
be
at you
my
guys and be like, do I look like Braden at all? In these clothes?
No, and I'm gonna mold Earth like where the footprint and everything like that is, the blood, and kind of just clean it up a little bit, I guess.
Okay.
Okay. And then I'm gonna go ahead and change my appearance to identical to Braden.
All right.
Astonished. Oh,
tail's wagging so fast.
I'm gonna be like, how about now?
I
And he
mean,
is a
you.
spitting image.
I like look at the head. Look at him. Look at the head. Look at him. And then I'm go up to him and pinch his cheeks a little bit and stretch him out.
They
I'm
are
gonna go,
genuine.
ow.
And Gerald, on the third, like when you look back at the head, you notice that Snoopy's standing over the head, and he grabs it.
I'll let Snoopy take it. I mean, you look like him, I guess, but you don't
Yeah.
sound like him, right?
Well, I actually do. It says,
Yeah,
here
you
we
should.
go.
I think you sound like him.
Yeah, including your height, weight, facial features, the sound of your voice, coloration, hair length, sex, and any other distinguishing characteristic. So literally identical in every way. The only thing that's
Cool.
different, that is not the same, would be my clothing. So that's why I have his clothes.
Hey, do you think it's
God
a good
damn.
idea? I had no idea you could do that. It's fucking awesome. Should we make it look like we abandoned them, and that he's gonna lead them back to town since we abandoned him?
We could, or I was thinking I could go over there and they'll trust me. I can just tell them
Real
that
quick,
Oh.
even though Lasarth left without a trace, Angelica, you've been constantly looking back and you see the dragon flying away in the moonlight. So if you wish to join your group during this discussion, you may.
All right, I start walking through to them.
you know, and I'm just so we're aware. Obviously, my character is talking like Braden, but I can't do as good an accent as Brady, stuff like in voices. So just assume it sounds the
Sure,
same
you
as what Brady's.
can. If you have that attitude, you can't. But
if I had a voice that I made up, then maybe I would do it. But you're just too good at doing it. But yeah. So Angelica's coming up to us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna go up to Angelica as she walks up and be like, "What are you doing out of bed, little missy?"
Can I do some sort of check on him?
No. He looks and sounds exactly like Braden Law. You're confused.
I do like a sneeze and say pussy.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and use my mind message to Angelica. And I'm like, can I see when I message people? Am I able to make it sound like my normal self, that they would know?
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna message her and
sounds
be like,
fine.
it's me, it's Mo. Here, I'm just showing you one of my little tricks here that I can do.
And that as he's doing that, and I'm gonna obnoxiously walk up to Mo and be like, "You see? Look at it. Look at it." I'm gonna start stretching his face a little bit.
I'm just.
I look at Quinn. I go like, "Why are you surprised? You can change into animals."
I just go to Snoopy and I just say, "Shh."
I'll look at Mo and then the rest of the group and just go like, Where is everybody?
And then I'm gonna start talking, or I'm gonna talk to him and be like, and I'm talking out loud, by the way. Brayden had a little accident with a dragon that we know called Lasarth, and he is no longer. And so these villagers have to go back to their village because Lasar said so, or else.
No ifs, ands, or buts. We have to do this.
It's basically those 3 died or they all died.
Yeah. But he said we don't have to go back. We don't have to go with them. As long as they go back to the village, it's fine.
I pinch between my eyes and nose, and I burst a little bit, but catch myself mid, like almost breaking out a character, just going like, "Are you?" Okay. What the fuck?
How about you shut up since you didn't come try to help us with the situation?
That is not what we're talking about here. All right.
You don't like the outcome.
Pussy.
Pussy.
I'm just gonna grab my dwarf belly and like laugh in Brayden's voice. Laugh, hold my belly and laugh.
Pussy.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do.
Oh,
Okay.
also, Kevin, you notice that I have the head in my mouth.
All right. I turn
You guys
away
do notice
while still
Quinn,
pinching.
by the way, take a swig, and he's now like hiccuping like every couple seconds, and he's definitely like stumbling, just standing still. He's stumbling left and right.
All right. I turn away from the group a little bit, put my hands together, up like right under my nose, and then turn back. All right. So what do we gotta do about this situation? You said we have to get them back to the town, right?
Well, they just have to go
We-
back.
And that's
We-
where Mo comes in. We don't have to do a thing.
Yeah, let's just go back to the group and wake everybody up, and I'll just tell them that there was a large lizard folk army up the road that we can't get past, and they have to go back for now.
I have an idea.
Okay, what is it?
So, what we're gonna do is we could have. I'll take the head up, and then you'll be Brayden, and you go, I'm gonna go scout ahead, and then we'll throw the head out into the path, and it'll scare them into going back.
God damn, that's a good boy.
That definitely sounded like Save Wolf for a second. Okay, but how do we know they'll run back to the town?
Can
Not
you
just
turn
like
into a lizard folk?
I can turn into whatever you want me to.
You turn
Well-
into a lizard folk and tell them that they need to go back, or you'll do the same to every one of them.
Okay, I get the gist here. This is a good idea. Can you guys just stand by and make sure that if there's any people that want to fight, that they'll stand down and not attack me?
Yeah, we'll all when we see that, we'll start running back the other way, and that'll like they should probably follow us.
Hold on, whoa. And Quinn hits the floor.
Why don't we just let's carry him over to where we're gonna be at, and we'll just let him lay down for a little bit.
I grab while he's on the ground, I grab him by the back of his the little back of his like shirt or clothing that he's wearing, and just start dragging him.
Okay.
I'm surprised no one's picked me up by my scruff yet. 'Cause Except for I can blink away, so.
Okay.
I
Well-
think that's the play, guys.
Okay. So let's find a spot up the path where you can toss the head out. Or no, I'll just do all the jobs, I guess.
Yeah, you
Let's-
can. But the thing is, you have to make sure you hide the head.
I know. Okay. Why don't you go? You're smaller. Nobody will see you running around here with that head in your mouth. Why don't you go hide it up ahead on the trail, and then
Yeah. Yeah,
that's where
okay.
I'll walk out to.
Okay. I'll do that, and I'll like mark a tree or something, too, so I
Okay.
can find it easy.
All right. I guess let's go back, and then I'll just say I'm gonna scout up ahead a tiny bit. Why don't we wake everybody up though, and like that way they can
And wait till morning.
wait till morning. Okay, let's do that. I'm just gonna be in my dwarf form for now.
Okay.
All right, break.
So Angelica goes back to bed most likely after bringing Quinn, who's passed out. I'm assuming is what you were going for, right, Gerald?
Yeah, he's kind of in and out right now.
Okay. So Angelica brings him back to y'all's tent. Tamsin's still sound asleep. You prop Quinn in the corner to where he can sort of sleep it off, and then you try to get the last couple of hours of sleep so that you can get your rest. The other two, as you continue talking back and forth about your plan, morning comes, everyone's starting to wake up, and it's time for your performance. How do you go about this?
So, before morning even starts, I want to sneak up the road and place the head in a easily to find spot so that, and then I'll like tell him where it is.
Okay.
It's like off into the
Simple
bush.
enough. No
And then-
one is awake right now, so you don't need a stealth check.
And I'll tell him also, maybe you don't even have to throw it, you can just come out holding it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I think that's probably better. But okay, the rest is up to you, buddy.
All right. So I'm gonna like leave the tent, and as I'm walking around, like there's obviously people. How many
Yep.
people are like in the group with us?
About 45 to 50 total, and everybody's like waking up. They're making some breakfast right now. They're giving you greetings. Hi, Braden. Hey, good morning. Good morning. And they're starting to take their tents down and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like keep walking and give a couple mornings as I pass by people. Maybe give the finger guns to some ladies on the way.
They kind of blush and like, oh god.
So I walk up to the front of the path where we are, where we're headed towards the guilds, and I'm just gonna like kind of speak like a little bit louder so like people can hear me, but also like I'm mainly talking. Who are the people at the front of the caravan?
There's just a bunch of random commoners.
Okay, I'm gonna be like,
Yeah, so far, like everybody that you noticed so far, Braden is like he's still a commoner by all means. He's just been put into the leadership role. The only people that you've seen with any sort of like martial prowess whatsoever were those two elves. Everybody
nice.
else is just literally some random common folk. Like yeah, exactly. 1 HP. That's all they got. Some of the dudes are a little bit bulkier because they're carpenters, so they work with their hands and stuff. So it gives them a little extra bit of strength, but not enough to where like they're nowhere near your level.
Okay.
One of us could probably kill every one of them, is basically what he's saying.
Correct.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna hang on 1 second. Can I look at well, I guess I won't do this. Never mind. Okay, so I'm gonna just talk kind of loudly to the people at the front and be like, hoping that the people like kind of further back hear me too. But I'm gonna say, I'm gonna go up the road just a tiny bit and check our path for the day. I just want to know how hard of a trek it will be. But I should be back here real shortly. I'll just be up in that direction, right there, everybody. And I point up that way.
Okay.
They kind of scratch their head and they're like, "All right, have fun, I guess."
And I'm gonna go up to the front of the line to like be up there.
Okay. And then,
Okay.
so I'm gonna go walk out.
You end up coming at the there's a bend to the road with a bunch of brush that blocks your view from the rest of the caravan.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go like kind of exaggerating, like, what's this? And like walk into the bush, and then I'm gonna strip off my clothes really, really quickly. So no clothes, just I'm a naked dwarf in the bush there. Okay. Where
Okay.
nobody can see me, and then I'm gonna make a really actually, I'm gonna stay in my dwarf form, but I'm gonna yell really loudly, like, "Ah! Ah!"
Okay.
And then like yell super, super loud, like I'm like blood curdling screams, and then I'm gonna stop yelling, and I'm gonna immediately change into lizard folk form, like the ones we saw
Okay.
back at the shaman guy that we saw back at the waterfall.
All right. Perfect. So Snoopy, since you're up there and you're watching Braden Law walk away, after he's gone for about a minute.
The whole time. Like,
What?
Yeah.
so excited.
All right, and then
So
crap.
after a minute, all of a sudden you can hear Actually, hold on. You hear
Perfect.
and everybody
And then-
kind of like jumps up real quick and looks ahead, and Snoopy like springs up. What was that? Was that Braden? Someone. And the women are like pointing forward, and a couple of the men grab some of their craftsman mallets, and there's 5 of them, and they start to walk forward.
I say no, careful.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold. So I'm gonna grab the head, and I'm gonna hold my short sword in the other hand.
Okay. And then,
Okay.
do you approach them or do you stay put?
I'm gonna walk.
What is your stance?
I'm gonna walk back down the path to where I'm in view of everybody,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna start. How far would you say I am from them at this point, where they can see me?
Yeah, I would say you're 40 feet away from them when you get around the bend and you hold up the head of Braden Law and you have your short sword next to you.
Okay. So I'm gonna hold the head up super high, and then I'm gonna chuck it towards them and start talking. And be like, "You people no come this way. You go back to village. You will remain safe on journey. But this way is not allowed for people."
And I immediately start like barking and going, "Run back to the city! Hurry! Let's get out of here!"
It's just one lizard folk. The dog can kill it.
No,
I'm gonna
no,
message the dog. I'm gonna message the dog, or I'm gonna message Snoopy, and I'm gonna be like, "Hey Snoopy, quickly chase me around this corner over
yes.
here again."
I say, "I got it, guys." That's
Yeah, and I'm gonna message him. Just chase us both out of view real quick.
okay. So I run out of view, like, and there's no way anybody can go as fast as I can.
That is
I say, "I got
correct.
this, guys," and they see me like sprint, blink. We're gonna go around the corner, and I wait for like 10 seconds, and like I hit my rapier on a tree a couple times, and then I just turn around.
I'm gonna message you real quick and say, "Hang on, don't leave yet. Don't leave
Okay.
yet."
What's your idea?
Can I cast polymorph on him to make him a lizard folk?
Sure.
I was just gonna run away like there's a bunch
And then, so I'm gonna message you and be like, "Hey, or I want you to act like you died too, okay?
Oh, that's
So-
a good idea too.
So
Can
I'm
you
gonna.
polymorph me into a lizard folk though?
It says right here, as well, that you can see into a new form.
I think it has to be a beast.
Yeah,
Does it?
true polymorph.
And a lizard
Oh.
folk is humanoid.
Can I just transfer him into a giant lizard?
One that walks on 4 legs.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And how big of a lizard can I make? Can I ride it?
I'll say, so there's usually giant versions of all the creatures, but they're medium style. And I would say you should be able to ride him.
Okay.
Can you turn me into a T-Rex?
Oh yeah. Can we do that?
You could turn him into a T-Rex, yes.
Okay. We're doing T-Rex
Actually,
here.
no one's been to the Yodian Empire. At least not the jungles down there, so never mind. You haven't seen a T-Rex. Actually, no. Roll me a
Yeah.
nature check. Good friend. Only Ethan. Actually, Gerald, you roll me one too. Let's see if you'll be able to turn people into T-Rexes in the future. Ethan cannot.
Wait a second.
Here
wait,
you go,
wait,
boy. You done
Wait,
goofed.
wait, hang on. Hang on. Can I roll my can I add a d20 to that by using lucky? That's an ability
Sure,
check.
you can do an additional roll with one of your lucky points.
I'm gonna let him go first.
Brady,
Sorry.
when saw a T-Rex when we fought Strahd.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, except for Ethan's new character wasn't there.
No, I
Yeah.
know,
Oh,
but
so
Quinn should.
So yeah, Quinn knows what a T-Rex is.
nice.
So
Go ahead and
would I
take a lucky away and go ahead and roll nature again.
Okay, I just
Nat
rolled it.
one.
Roll
Nat
it again. Okay, here we go. And this
Correct, yeah.
should let me. Okay,
16,
So
you
that-
still don't know.
but hang on 1 second. I was reading something on here.
Can I do it again? He says.
You cannot do it again. So essentially the way lucky works is you roll it, and if you don't like what you see before, technically it would be before I tell you what happens, you would be like, can I re-roll it? But I'm
Yeah.
usually too quick to the draw, so I've really got to work on that.
Oh, you're fine.
Even though it rolls with advantage, I'm not going to ever be like, yeah, you can just take that higher number. It will always be a new roll whenever you do a
Mhm.
re-roll.
Okay. And then I never inputted my lucky. Can I just put it in the other resource spot, the lucky points here?
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be fine. And you got 2
okay.
left. Yeah, by
Go ahead.
Quinn knows what a T-Rex looks like, and you don't. Maybe Quinn can teach you. Yeah, boy. Alright, so Snoopy runs around the corner. There's a couple of sword clangs happening, and then what is it that you do?
Well, since we can't really do the polymorph, yeah, I'll.
Yeah, why don't you just I'm gonna talk to Snoopy like out loud, or I'm gonna talk to him as my message. And I'm like, why don't you just go back and tell him there's like 100 of us back here.
Yeah,
we better
that's-
run.
That was my plan.
Okay,
So,
sorry.
I make a loud whimper, and let's see. I'm gonna take the. Oh, the head's not there. It's fine. I'll just say I got hit by a club. So then I start sprinting, tail tucked, just like. Basically, they'll see like dust flying up, and they'll see this little dog running as fast as he possibly can. And
Okay.
the lizard folk are coming. The lizard folk are coming.
How many of them? Maybe we can take them.
100 strong.
Oh god. Everyone, pack up! We're heading back!
And I'm gonna
And
like
they all
run
start
out.
to throw their stuff, and they're starting to get stuff turned around fast as hell. Tamsin's kind of sitting over in the corner, like looking at Snoopy puzzled, and she grabs her broom and starts to fly on it, and she reaches out for Angelica. Do you want to ride?
Yeah. And then I grab on and get on top.
Brady, for a second, I thought you were gonna have Tamsin spoil this whole thing because
Yeah.
he wasn't included. I'm like, dude.
Oh, no. As a DM, I would never foil your plans with somebody that's currently in NPC mode. That would be a very dick move.
Yeah.
I could text her and be like, "Hey, this is the sitch. Do you want to fuck it up?"
So,
But I won't do that.
I get like to the front of the caravan, but I just keep running straight through it. And as I pass, like one of our teammates, say Quinn or Angelica, like if it was in slow mo, you would see me like running scared, and then I'd look at them and like have like a happy stride with my tongue out, and then I'd go back into serious mode. You just see
Okay.
Scumbaggery at its finest.
People are running. Tamsin grabs Angelica and they fly up a little bit. From what you can see, Angelica, you can just see, because she goes up about like 30 feet in the air. You can see just Mo sitting there in lizard folk form, kind of waiting for what's going to happen next. And then you see everybody else. They've left some of the tents that they haven't taken down yet and just left them there, and they're just booking it. They're heading back to Green Drift.
While
Can I
I
send
have
a
my
message to Tamsin and say, go get Mo in a little bit?
Yeah, and she responds, "Okay, I guess we're trying to lead them back."
this whole time I'm sitting there with my arms and my legs crossed, did a light sigh to this whole entire situation.
She turns to you. Tamsin turns to Angelica. What exactly is happening? I must have missed it.
Yes.
I'll explain later.
Okay. She kind of flies over, and then turns around and she lands, and tries to get Quinn awake, as she realizes that Quinn is drunk still and asleep. But the people are starting to leave, and as the last couple are starting to leave, they turn around. They're like, uh, "It's very, very heroic of you to stand and fight. We hope to see you soon." And they leave the area. And as they're leaving the area, Snoopy, you're still sort of in their gaggle. What is it that you do?
I just kind of pretend like I'm running out of steam and like start panting, and then just kind of slowly go towards the back until I'm the last person.
So as you're doing that, one of the men, "I got you, little dog," and he grabs you and starts to run with you in his arms.
I blink out of his arms like, no, no, no. Go on without me. I can handle myself. I'll keep them off your back.
Very valiant, and he tips his hat to you and continues to run away.
I wink at him.
And
I
after
pull my
after
beard from
5
around-
minutes, after 5 minutes of them hightailing it, all you see is like a dust cloud that they've left, and it's just you guys now. There's really no possessions left except for a couple of the tents that hadn't been taken down, but all of the equipment and stuff had already been packed up, unfortunately.
Okay. Can I go set the? So they would be out of the view of the tents now, or no?
Correct.
Okay, I'm gonna go over and what do I have to set the tents on fire? Let me see.
That is the
think you
funniest
took the-
question coming from Ethan of all time ever.
I know, right? What do I have that could possibly set these things on fire? Because I don't have fireball anymore.
This used to be like not a real problem. Now it's like, I don't know if I have. Don't I
Yeah.
have like one of my packs?
I don't think
started
the
with?
entertainers pack. I don't think
Yeah,
that
I-
has anything in it. But
I'm
there's
gonna look
plenty of
over it.
torches that your party has. And real quick, I gotta use
Yeah.
the bathroom. But Tamsin knows firebolt. So if you ask her,
Nice.
she would light them on fire for you. But I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh man.
That's a
Well-
pretty good plan.
Yep.
what is this group became? Oh man.
Well, it's good. At least we don't have to go back. We can just go back to the City of Guilds by ourselves.
Oh boy. You know, Snoopy's just been backed into a corner over and over and over and over.
Yeah, like out of character, this shit is hilarious. Angelica's pissed though. Like, well, she's not pissed. She's just annoyed. As all hell.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
She-
keep on.
Yeah, 'cause she's
Oh,
just
go ahead.
thinking like, what else is gonna happen? Like, goddamn. That's what she's thinking right now.
Alright, I'm back. So how are we setting these tents on fire?
I'm just gonna ask Tamsin. And be like, I'm gonna. So she's up in the air, right? Kind of above the tents.
I mean, she landed to go and get Quinn
Oh, yeah.
awake, and she pulls him out, and she kind of like shakes her head, and she's like, "I don't really want to be a part of this, but I'm sure you have a good reason for it." And she firebolts like the last like 5 remaining tents, and they
Yeah.
all start to go up in flames, and there's plumes of smoke.
Nice.
Well, I'm assuming we're not joining back up with them then?
No, definitely not. But when they look back and they see all that smoke, they definitely won't want to come back here.
Very well. So what is our next move then?
First, I'm gonna transform back into my my boy form again.
What exactly are you, might I ask?
This is Tamsin asking that.
Correct.
Oh, I'm gonna be like, I just realized that in my lizard form I was naked because I don't know if lizard people wear loincloths only. So I'm gonna be like as quickly as possible, like in my boy form, like putting my clothes back on. And I'm gonna look at Tamsin and be like, I'm just a normal kid here.
From what I've seen, you're far from it. Hopefully one day you get a little more comfortable with us. I know we're all kind of new together. Seems that we're stuck like this for the time.
Yeah.
So, once again, what is our next move? City of Guilds?
I say City of Guilds. We go there and get some food.
We gotta get rid of this dragon egg.
Over here, stranger.
Out of the bushes, you see this Kinku come out.
I don't know. I'm gonna be like,
Stranger.
"This guy again."
You'll know what I'm talking about.
I'm gonna run up to him as quickly as possible. Like,
What are you buying? What are
I
you
don't know.
selling?
do you have any empty vials or empty bottles?
What you need that for?
It's just for storing some liquids.
Ah.
And he pulls out some empty vials for you.
I'll buy it at a high price.
Okay. How many vials would you say?
He pulls out 5 of them.
Okay. I'm gonna offer him 1 gold for all of them.
Welcome. Thank you.
And he hands over the 5 vials for the 1 gold piece.
Nice.
A
Okay.
wise choice, mate. Is that all, stranger?
That will be all for me. And I'm gonna look
And he
over at
starts to
Angelica.
back
Do we
away.
have
Thank
and-
you.
Hold on. I was muted on
Oh?
accident. Do we
Oh,
still
yeah.
have that pact of the Oath Keeper thing?
Oh,
Back to
that the rod
staff
that
of the
Vikavor
rod, yeah.
used.
Yeah.
You do have it.
I
So
want to
sad.
and say, will you buy this at a high price? And like try to
I'll
take-
buy it at a high price.
10,000.
And he shakes his head.
Not enough cash.
He pulls out a pouch and he empties it into his palm, and you can see that there's 20 platinum pieces.
That's equivalent to 200 gold.
That is correct.
You'll know what I'm talking about.
I'm
I
gonna.
say, not enough cash.
He pulls out another bag and he pours out an extra 100 gold.
You'll know what I'm talking about.
Not enough cash.
It's a
I'm gonna
nice gun, stranger.
Too nice for you.
Not only will you need cash, but you'll need guts to buy that weapon. Thank you.
He puts all of it back into his little bag, ties it off, and then he bows at you guys and he walks back into the brush.
I'm gonna follow him.
Okay. So as he walks into the brush and you follow him, he's still there and he turns around and
Welcome.
he opens up his his cloak and he pulls out a empty water skin.
What are you buying? What are you selling?
Can I see that water skin?
And he hands it over to you.
Ah.
Just an empty water skin.
Correct. Yeah, it's just
yeah,
actually
let me-
it's full of a liquid, and as you take a whiff of it, it's wine.
I hand him 2 gold pieces for it. This is
A wise choice, mate. Thank you.
He takes your 2 gold and gives you the water skin full of wine.
yes,
By the
I'll
way,
put-
Joe, this is what he looks like. Literally a kinku with like a big ass bag full of random shit.
That's awesome.
What you need that for? Is that all, stranger?
yeah, I think I'm good.
Thank you.
And then he starts walking away in the brush. After he gets about 30 feet, you don't hear him moving anymore. And with that, what does the party do? Quinn now has 2 flasks of dwarven alcohol and 1 water skin of unknown wine.
Oh yeah, I need to put that in there.
Okay. So it only takes you a good portion of the day to travel back to the City of Guilds. And as you guys are approaching the gates, you notice that sitting in front, like probably about 50 feet away from the entrance, you see this large white dog who's actually got a plate helmet and a breastplate on and a large sword on its back. And it's kind of sitting there in the middle of the road. And as it sees you guys approaching, you can see its tail start to wag. And as Snoopy comes into the sort of its vision, it stands up and does a play bow.
Oh, you know what happens. Bow right back.
Okay. And as you bow, let's see. So Snoopy understands this as, oh, goody, goody, you've made it. I've been waiting for you. My master sent me to come and get you. You're Snoopy, right? And this is all in barking language, so nobody but Snoopy understands this.
And so then they hear the same tone you sent back and say, yeah, that's me, that's me, that's me. Who are you?
Who am I? What did he name me? Hold on. And he looks up. My name is Ellis.
The whole time, just to give context of how Snoopy's reacting here, in his dreams, he would dream the wonderful thing about Snoopy is Snoopy's a wonderful thing. Bouncy, 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 fun, 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 fun. Wonderful thing about Snoopy is that I'm the only one. Like, he was so excited to be the only awakened canine. Don't ask how I still remember Tigger's song.
Oh, I know it too, so you're not the only one. So Ellis like he gets down on onto his belly and he kind of shakes. He's like, I don't think we have time to play yet, but soon we will. Will you follow me to my master?
I say sure, and so before I like
your friends can come.
I run up to him and I sit and then I shake, like a dog would shake to shake his hand.
Okay, and he kind of like looks at you sideways. I know that one, and he sits pretty.
No. Shake.
Oh, and then he sits down and he puts a paw, and you guys like hook them and shake hands, and everybody else is just watching you guys do this. Oh, my master will be so pleased. Well, let's go. And he turns around, and as you guys watch Snoopy just follow this random dog, that is where we'll end tonight's session.
Alright, that was fun. I'll talk to you guys later.
Take it easy, dude. Tell Nicole hello.
I sure will. Bye.
I'm going to end my stream real quick, so I'll be right back. Appreciate everyone coming out. Hopefully you had a good old time. Nice bit of role play there. And now we'll see what happens with this new canine friend of Snoopy's. Should be pretty fun. But yeah, that was hilarious how they dealt with getting the villagers back to where they needed to go. I was anticipating them to fight Lasarth, but I'm kind of glad they didn't, because in theory you could win, but with my tactics on how the dragons would act, I don't think they could do it. But who knows? Maybe they would surprise. But anyway, until next time.